You're listening to Say It Common. I'm just saying it, the waffle, as a waffle, is absolutely obnoxious. Hey, this is just a song that fits in between genres. We're really trying to tell you that we're down-home folks without saying we're country, because we don't want the connotation of being good old boys.
I trade my truck for an iPhone 1. Turns out it was stolen and no longer works.
No.
The gods don't interfere with what may or may not be a cursed weapon. She didn't care when freaking a demon was in our party. Why would she give a crap about a cursed act?
That's funny.
What are you doing? Oh my God! What is happening?
This is why we did Say It Common, just for these kind of moments right here.
You're listening to Say It in Common, where we talk about it all, not just Dungeons and Dragons. I'm AJ Cannon.
Seth Templin.
Tyrell Merle.
And Dustin Foltz.
That's right. The quartet. We're here.
I haven't done this in so long. I was like, okay, I think I'm last.
We have not had a Say It
God,
in
we haven't
Common.
done Say It in Common.
2 games?
In
And then
months.
there was 2 games before that was the last time?
Has it been
Yeah.
2 games?
I think it was 2 games.
Well, I looked today because
Last time was AJ did a concert, so we got here at like 7 and played. And I think we did a Say It in Common the time before that. And the time before that, we played Magic the Gathering. And then the time before
so
that,
this
we had a
is
Say It in
like
Common.
our second one in 3
This
months
year.
or 4 months.
Maybe our second one this year.
Yeah. Maybe second. No, third one this year.
Okay.
I was just looking back because I always just open the same file from last time and just save over it like the number of what Say It in Common this is, and the last one I have is 49, and I was like, what the heck? I guess I just haven't done save as and changed the title in several episodes. And I was like, is this our 50th episode today? And I went and looked on my phone, and this is 53. So it's like, I guess we missed the 50th one. I don't even know if I made a comment. I may have about it being the 50th.
I do not know.
But anyway,
The 50th,
Say It in Common?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is
I
our
was like,
53rd.
we're way past 50.
Episode 53. Say It in Common.
because so if we're right and this is our third one this year, that means
It's
our
more.
50th.
So
would
we
have been in
probably did
December.
January, February, skipped March, so then we had April, skipped May, June. This is our fourth one.
So that means our 50th was in January. So our 50th Say It Common was this year, and we probably didn't realize.
I don't think I realized it.
Hey, 53! Woo!
But we're really far behind the podcast because
In terms of number?
we're 60 something on the podcast. This is I think 63 on the podcast.
Yeah,
so,
but we've been that way since the episodes started getting split because
Yeah.
of really long combats.
yeah, and then skipping Say It in Commons too.
Right.
But we've always been behind in the number of Say It in Commons. But anyway, this episode and every episode brought to you by Tiger Skull RPG. Check them out, patreon.com/Tiger Skull RPG. Sign up for the newsletter. You get free stuff every month. If you like printing stuff, creative tabletop things, go check it out. He's also building the video game over there. Posts videos on that, so that's really cool. Yeah.
You should reach out to him. And is it going to be a single player game? Do you
I
know?
think so, yeah. It
You
just
should
looks like
reach
some
out to
type
him
of
and see
dungeon
if-
crawler.
Yeah, or no, just reach out to him and see if one of us can stream it
That would
sometime.
be cool.
Oh, yeah.
That would be sweet.
It'll probably just be on PC.
Well, that's why OBS is on PC, I guess. You get a second monitor.
Oh yeah, also follow us on, or come find us on Discord. Join the server. We're having fun over there. We play little games every day, puzzle games, and talk about gaming and D&D.
That has become our identity on there lately.
I know.
Wordle.
we need a new
connections.
thread for
We
daily
just need-
games.
yeah, daily games.
We just need, or what is it, app games. We need to make an app games
Yeah,
channel.
because the gaming thread has turned into nothing but Wordle.
Yeah.
It's
Wordle and now
Connections.
The
Yeah.
Connections, the app is awful.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
It's-
the app
so
is
bad.
I don't know. I mean, you could I could be like, hey guys, got all 4 of them
Yeah,
again.
you can cheat. Yeah,
well,
you
it's
absolutely
like,
can
well,
cheat.
what were they? Can't tell you because then you would know. But the Wordle actually shows you how people did, and I like it. I like
I like
Wordle a
that
lot.
too.
Yeah, maybe it'll get updated or something.
Man, so Friday, speaking of, since we're talking about Wordle right now, my students, we went to lunch. We go to lunch together on Friday, and he'd been working for us all summer. And I'd already played Wordle that morning, right, and gotten the word. It was, since we're 2 days out, it was plain, right?
By the time you hear this,
PLAIN.
It's super
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, PLAIN. It was the word for Friday. I'd already done it, and then he shows me his phone. He goes, "I got one guess left. What should it be?" I was like, "You should try plain." He goes, "You got it right." I was like,
I'm so good.
I'm so good at Wordle.
Did you tell him that you?
Yeah, I was like, I played this morning.
yeah.
Oh, it was great.
But yeah, Discord's fun. All kinds of chatting over there. D&D gaming, Magic the Gathering is a big thread over there.
Did you
so-
change your name on there? I guess it's been so long. I tried to @ you, and I could not think of what your name is on there because it's not the Nightmare, right?
It's Alcim the Ordinator.
I could not remember,
Okay.
and I tried looking for you because I knew you'd posted some stuff in music, and I could not. And I was like, maybe that's.
I think doesn't he pop up as Tyrell?
I tried at Tyrell.
Did you fix it?
Oh.
I think I've made it. Man, no, I never made his at Tyrell because I never knew what it was.
I thought it popped up as Tyrell when he chatted.
But I was trying to @
It
you
was
on
for a
something.
while. I
I
changed it
said
back. I
just.
didn't know why it was
I
Tyrell.
did that
I ended up
changed.
just saying
I was wondering
at
why it was-
Tyrell
because
I
it
don't know who you
doesn't.
are.
It doesn't
Yeah.
help to be a part of our Discord and people not knowing who the heck you are.
Yeah. True.
The wannabe
Clueless
Templar
gamer.
I'm DM. I've always thought, and I think I'm correct. The wannabe Templar is Stuart, right?
Yes.
Slarster.
Yep. Shout
For
out.
some
to
reason,
Sartre.
the other day, something happened, and I was like, "Wait, is this Avery?" Because the way that Huntro was talking about, he kind of mixed him. He was like, I thought he was talking like
Yeah, Avery's the ruler of elves. Yeah.
and that's his same one for Twitch because I think he changed it.
Yeah.
It was something else. I think.
Slarster's the one that screws us up because we always call him Slarster, but his name's not Slarster on anything but Twitch.
And then on Whatnot, he's just Stuart.
So we got Stewart, we got Slarster,
S the Great Slayer.
S the
That's a
Great
big one.
Slayer,
Yeah.
and what is he on? What is he on Discord?
the
Wannabe Templar, which has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the rest of that. Doesn't even
Yeah.
start with an S.
Not starting with the S is what killed me. I didn't know it was him when we first started Discord.
But Discord's
been a lot of
fun. Come find it. Find us on Twitch Mondays and Fridays, 7 to 9 Central Standard Time in the PM.
Absolutely.
And if you want to find us, you can find us on the socials.
Yeah.
TikTok, YouTube, content all the time. Bring it on.
More and more coming. I mean, we got Dustin now streaming every Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Wednesdays.
So at least until school starts, I'll have to decide. I'll make a hard decision when school starts if I'm gonna come in and stream at 7 when I just got home at 6:30. Because
Yeah.
when esports practice kicks in, I'll have to see if I can. I'll be able
Well,
to
you can
continue.
start a little later. Just do 8 to 10.
That
That ain't
might
going to
be
hurt
right.
nobody.
We'll see.
But yeah, Dustin's streaming Final Fantasy on Wednesdays. I'm doing random crap on Saturdays most of the time if I can't do Thursdays. I would much rather do Thursdays, but Saturday mornings, nobody's trying to watch a stream on a Saturday morning. But that's about really the only time that I can consistently.
Are you doing it for Twitch or are you doing it mostly for YouTube?
Both. I mean, I just have always wanted to play through all the Final Fantasy games. So I was like, this is a great time to do it. So.
I'm pumped about it because I've never seen them. So I'm
Hey, the
excited.
more diverse stuff we can do, the more reach we'll have. So it's
I
great.
can't believe I didn't get to a crystal in my first stream. I was so upset because I didn't remember everything I did. I was like, I didn't remember any of that. I remembered you get to the first town, you start dealing with the crystal, which I'm pretty sure is Mel, whatever that town was that wizard told me. I think that's the next town I have to get to. I have no idea how to get there. So I have an idea of what to do when we start playing again Wednesday. But yeah, it's been fun because I haven't played Final Fantasy 1 since high school.
It looks like Pokemon.
It has like the same soundtrack as Pokemon.
No, it just
it
8-bit
sounds like
8-bit music.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
What a lot of options.
It sounds exactly.
Oh, it sounds like Zelda. Oh, it sounds like Mario.
That's what I thought. It looked like original Zelda.
Yeah, it looks more like Zelda, I
walking
guess.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we get to later Final Fantasy games, it'll take on its own like charm, its own persona, basically, its own thing.
All right, Seth wanted something for keeping it common, so let's just jump
do it.
over. Let's talk about the campaign
Keeping
last
it-
episode.
keeping it
I
Heavy
enjoyed
hitter.
that game so much.
It was a great,
Oh, yeah.
great role playing,
Aftermath.
lore dumping game.
We've had some lore dumps in a row now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the biggest thing. If I was gonna still be on a tractor and couldn't make it to Satan Common, I wanted to say I know that Malachi's character lived. Sirloin lived, but I say that as Alistair, or as Aldous. Sorry, not Alistair. Goodness, as
Aldous.
That everyone but your character died.
Yeah.
I said that in game.
Well, maybe he just may not have known.
Right. That was
Because Malachi's story for Sirloin while he was still alive is that his ape died for him, so they may have just seen the ape die and they assumed.
right. And he went into some kind of a fury and tried to keep fighting and stuff, and then eventually
Yeah.
he got out, changed his name, and didn't ever pick up another pet.
Yeah.
And then died at the hands of Bryce years later. So yeah, I did that on purpose. That was it.
But that was
what I
all you
wanted
wanted
to
to clarify? Okay.
But I enjoyed that game so much. That was a fun game. Kyle is always such a blast. He cracks me up so much.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what his next character is. Do you think he's going to completely
He's going to
abandon?
be serious character.
He's gonna play a
kind
serious
of terrifying.
I don't know if he can do that.
I don't know if he can either.
I don't know. The dude's got range. When he played Orlean, it was still a silly character, but it was a completely different type of silly character.
Yeah.
So I know he's got it in it. Like, the reason Rask is the character is because Kyle came in his first time playing D&D and made that character.
Yeah.
And
He's like, I want to be like the Avatar.
Yeah.
I'm going to make Aang.
and then it's just him too, the personality. He didn't know how to play a character and role play.
If Kyle had been in Aang's place, this is what we would have been dealing with.
A lot crazier.
Fire Lord better watch out.
But Kyle, he was I'm so glad you got him to play, and I was so skeptical about you bringing people in I didn't know too. I wasn't worried about Dustin when he came and played a little bit because I knew that he knew how to play, and like I knew Dustin a little bit already. Kyle, never met him before in my life. He comes in, and we're supposed to role play with this guy in like our third episode.
Game.
I think it was our third episode. We don't even know our own characters yet, and we're trying to help this guy who's never played before. But he immediately started role playing. Like,
Yeah.
It's
We're looking
wild.
for the gods.
yeah,
And who knew that one comment would change the entire arena of our game?
leave it to Seth.
Yeah, you have to be careful what you say around Seth.
I'm just like, whoa.
So that's what we're gonna do. All right, that's the rest of the campaign.
Can we also talk about the character incest he has going on, where his two characters
Yeah.
have apparently been together,
Just Orlean was in
Orlean.
him.
Yeah, Orlean has a crush on him.
but only Kyle would make his character have a crush on his character.
And I didn't know that was going to happen until he was playing Orlean and started saying something about himself, and I was just like, oh, I wonder what he's talking about, and realized it later on. I was like, oh my gosh, he's talking about himself. Because I just watched that game in person when we recorded that one.
And
I
then
was
played
just
a
there.
little bit. You took over for Cynthia because Maverick started.
Oh
doing
yeah,
shit.
yeah, I did. I had to play a little bit. I don't think I've ever. Might have listened to that one time later on to go back and try to piece things together.
Haven't had Amy. That's sad. I've not listened to that one in a bit either.
Well, it's good that you got that for all posterity. That'll never go away. Yep. It's digitally archived forever.
Her and her sister's playing a game.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yep. She can't say D&D never did anything for her.
So the word's out now that you're having another kid, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, we got to say on the podcast for those that are listening.
Yeah.
Yep. Third one.
Do you know if it's a boy or girl?
Don't know. Not going to find out until birth. We're lame like that.
Oh man.
Well, you didn't do that the last two times.
Right, and because we have one of each, I guess that's why we've decided to keep it secret.
Right.
Which it's kind of messing with me because it does not feel real because I don't know what it is, so it's not like I'm not associated
Yeah.
with it yet.
You're having a homunculus.
Well, that pretty much. Well, that kind of makes it. It makes it. You got to start getting creative on how to make it fun after you've already had two. You gotta-
Yeah.
yeah, they're like,
Oh, yeah.
they're like, we did the party, we did whatever we did the second time. Now we're just gonna be, we want to be surprised.
But it's not as important now because
Yeah.
you have hand-me-downs of girl stuff and boy stuff, so you're
Right.
set.
Oh, money
Yeah.
hand-me-downs.
And it doesn't matter. So that'll be good. That'll
Yeah, it should be. And then one of us is getting fixed.
be after 3 you're done.
Absolutely. I should have got fixed after 2.
Also, this wasn't a plan.
are you gonna go to the vet's office?
She's always wanted.
Oh,
to.
okay.
Huh?
Are you gonna go to the vet's office?
Who's
and have
ever
it done?
cheapest?
His dad's gonna. They got the farm tools there. Have his grandpa come
Nice
in.
and rusty.
As soon as we get done with that bull, come on over here, Seth.
I'm just gonna wear a band for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
till
I was gonna say they just banned him up. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Okay, back on track.
I've heard that is extremely painful.
Yeah, for
yeah.
a tough animal.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about for humans.
bulls
The
don't care.
injection process and all that
Oh,
stuff.
I've heard it. No, it's not a bad. I've heard that it's just walk in, walk out surgery.
I've heard different.
Oh, you mean like an actual
yeah.
the actual
Oh, I
surgery?
thought you meant banding.
No,
Oh, no,
no,
I-
no, 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 no,
I was
no.
like, when did a human ever do that?
No, not that. No, I'm talking about
Oh,
I've heard that it doesn't.
the-
it doesn't
the-
even.
the-
I heard
Dairy
it's
process
nothing.
and
Started with a V.
I heard it's nothing at all.
Vasectomy.
vasectomy. That's
Yeah.
it. I was like vivisection. No, it's not.
Yeah, I
Okay,
heard
let's
it's nothing.
Okay, let's get off it.
I have a funny story actually.
Go ahead.
My buddy Brian, he's like, yeah, I heard I got engaged and I was about to get married and I got a random call from one of our old friends that we went to Texas with to a youth rally or something. He's like, he just started talking to me. He's like, I haven't heard from this guy in like 8 months or something. What's going on? And he's like, I'm down in Florida. I just got fixed. I'm on drugs.
He's just calling everybody in his address.
Yeah, he
book.
just wanted to call. He said we talked for like an hour. He's just laying in the floor on drugs, trying to recover.
Yeah. At the loopy.
Yeah.
That's funny. What else about the campaign? Okay. Get zoned back in here.
What did you think of seeing Aldous? And I'm blanking. I listened to it just
Hurst?
today. Hurst.
Oh yeah. I love that. That was exciting.
I was so glad it was Hurst. That's cool. He's got to be so old, though.
Well, you were going to play him, and
Yeah, that's true. I did, yeah. We went over this timeline a couple times. But I was thinking that it was longer ago when Jake took over. How long has Jake been there? 50? Is it 50 years?
no, I think 20, wasn't it?
Oh, it's only been that long?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I thought it was
okay.
50.
Was
I
it
thought-
50? Maybe it's 50.
Yeah, it's 50.
Well, I think we've said 50 before. But yeah,
50 seems old because Jake is a human.
But Hurst was a young man in Anthony's one shot. So if he was 20 or less, then he would still be, under 70. What's to say people don't live pretty long and in good health? People used to be in better health for longer.
In fantasy realms, people that are of like strong caliber tend to like Aragorn was 80.
I was about to
was a special
ask.
case.
I was
about to ask how old was Aragorn.
Keep
Because
in mind though that he's also half elf.
He's also half part Maiar too. I'm caught up on some Lord of the Rings stuff.
he's half elf. Aragorn is.
No, he has elf
He's
blood
Dunedain.
and Maiar blood. Yeah, he's
So-
a Dunedain. He's a descendant of a elf Maiar combination. Maiar is like a lesser, technically it's a greater spirit, but it's a lesser greater spirit.
Okay, I wondered why he was like in so good with the elves. Because I would have thought like they would want to preserve their bloodline and stuff. Like, why would the king allow his daughter to date this?
He doesn't really like it, does it? But
No.
he doesn't like it. 'cause
He
she's
just
gonna
doesn't
die.
want her to become mortal. Is all he
yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
Why does an elf loving someone make them mortal?
Half elves are allowed to make a choice on how they live their life.
Is she half?
She's her father. He's also half elf. So her father and his brother were both half elves. He chose to live an elf life. His brother chose to live a human life, and he is one of the first of the Numenor.
Yeah.
One of the
He's one that
Numenorian
started
kings.
Numenor.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't
so
listen to this podcast.
every half elf is allowed to make a choice on whether they have a human life or an elven life. If they choose an elven life, they are no longer they can no longer live in Valinor for basically until the world ends. Yeah. So all half elves are given that choice because of I don't forgot. Don't remember who it was. It wasn't. It was one of the love stories though. There was a
Baron and Luthien?
no. That was a different one.
I always thought with Arwen.
Oh no, maybe no, because Luthien isn't allowed to return either.
I thought with Arwen, I thought it was just because like I thought Sauron was like taking all the world was so dark that the elves were losing their power and she was like having the life sucked out of her unless she went to Valinor. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Valinor.
Okay. I thought elves eventually had to go there to become immortal or something. Is what was in my mind.
All elves are supposed to return to Valinor. All of them,
Because
except for the
she-
ones that choose to be mortal.
Well, in the movies, she's like getting weaker and stuff, but she's not like married to Aragorn yet. Like, so why is that happening?
There's this concept in the movie of the light of the Eldar fading, but I haven't really heard of that in the podcast where that's a thing. As far as I know, the
Might have
only
just been Peter Jackson.
and that's the thing is there is a difference between what happens in the movies and what happens in the books. I don't know of anything in the podcast, and I'm all the way up to the Second Age. I haven't listened to it in a little while, but there hasn't been anything of the light of the Eldar fading. Like if you watch Rings of Power, which there's a lot of mixed opinions on it, they talk about they made those rings because it maintained the light of the Eldar. That was not why they made the rings. They just made the rings because they were powerful and they were taught
Those
by
shows
Anatar.
aren't even canon, are they? Like,
I think Rings of Power officially isn't. Lord of the Rings is much.
I mean, they're based off
Closer.
of the lore, but they're not
The
canon.
Tolkien estate hates all of it.
Yeah. Christopher Tolkien hates
I don't know why
most
they
of it.
allow it. Like, why are they letting Rings of Power be made? Because they have
Money!
they really don't. They would rather his stuff be taken seriously, though. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like,
Yeah,
they
either
hate
take-
Peter Jackson's
either
version,
take the money
and it's
and-
so wonderful.
Either take the
It's
money
way
and
better
shut
than
up, or just keep it and say no. We don't want it messed with. Like
Yeah.
that's the two options.
Find people who want to show your property correctly.
Don't take the money and then complain about it.
Peter Jackson's versions they're not perfect, but they are way
cinematically
way-
wonderful.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good. Don't get me
Especially
wrong.
for the times.
They're
It's
great
just-
movies
They
and
hold up, dude.
Yeah,
in
I just
comparison
watched
to
them.
Rings of Power.
Oh yeah,
Rings of Power.
embarrassing.
It's not even the same thing.
Oh,
I just watched all the Lord of the Rings, and I couldn't believe how good the CGI was. Those are early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like 02 or something, 02, 04.
A lot of it's still not CGI though. They're just using practical effects, and practical effects.
Some of it is, but like
always-
the
yeah,
Nazgul and stuff, like the dragon
Yeah.
flying around, those are CGI.
Look, you want to watch early CGI at its best? Jurassic Park was CGI. It's
A lot
incredible.
of that's practical.
I thought they were
No,
animatronics.
They had a little bit, but I actually watched a whole documentary on this a couple months ago, maybe 8 months ago. It was about the Light and Magic, the studio that did that, and yeah, basically they had two guys. They're like, we can CGI this. We don't have to do claymation, which is what they were going to have to do for some of the scenes. And they were like, no, CGI is not good enough. It'll never be good enough. It'll be too much. Well, two dudes just went in their basement and just went crazy, and they brought out this practical effect because at that time the only thing they had was a skeletal T-Rex walking, and it was good. It was pretty good for the day, but they're like, what is that? We want real dinosaurs. We want skeleton dinosaurs. And they came in there like the raptors that when they come into the room and the kids are hiding in the kitchen. All that CGI, and
Really?
it's incredible. Like
That is incredible.
Like the CGI just took longer back then, but I mean it's always been really.
It takes
good.
forever to render now. Like,
Right.
It must
Yeah.
have taken them weeks.
Imagine, they're working on
They-
computers the size of military bases.
But
back
they also use CGI to reinforce what they're doing, whereas now they just use it as a complete crutch. They film a screen with a bunch of green crap in front of a green screen, and they give it to the CGI team. They go, "Okay, make a movie.
Make a whole movie."
That's not
Yeah.
that's not realistic, and that's why we end up with the CGI we have today because the amount that that they would have to actually work isn't realistic, and the studio isn't going to pay them for it. So. Yeah, it's a completely different beast now. It's like now that CGI is a giant crutch, whereas we're used to like with the movies that we grew up with, like Lord of the Rings and with Jurassic Park and stuff. As CGI was like an enhancement and giving us something that we never had before. They don't do that anymore.
It's kind of the same way with music. Like used to, you didn't have a computer to doctor everything. Like you had to record a sound, like physically. Like how can we make this sound with what we have available? And you have really early records of like before they had distortion pedals and like effects, cutting speakers and stuff like that to make distorted sounds and different sounds. And now it's like you can just record a dry whatever and then you doctor it all on the computer later. You can paint a whole picture out of something that was like, electronic notation inputted through a keyboard, and you can turn it into a whole thing. It's kind of the same deal, but it loses a lot of its life when you do that, when everything's kind of like manufactured rather than being an organic actual thing that was recorded.
Yeah.
But that's how everything goes.
I've shouted them out here before. Corridor Crew. Every week they do they look at CGI stuff and
Break
talk
it
about how-
down.
yes, and it's such a cool show. Like
I've always meant to look that up. I always forget.
there's
that.
man, does YouTube ever just like bring you back around? Like I'm getting some Jenny D shorts from 5 years ago now that I've absolutely seen before, and for some reason they're being recommended to me again.
No.
Like I was watching D&D stuff 5 years ago. That's insane. At the beginning of this podcast, something we was talking about video games. I was like, when we started this podcast, the PlayStation 5 hadn't come out yet, and they're just about to start. Like they're already talking about PlayStation 6, the next Xbox. Like that's crazy that we have been here for an entire life cycle of a video.
I don't think
station.
PS5 was even really that close when we started this podcast.
No, we were
was it?
looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was probably a year or two
Yeah,
out.
it's about to what we are
And
now.
it
to
took
PS
me
No,
a year to get a PS5.
But,
too.
yeah, PS5 came out like height of COVID. No one could get one. Remember Tate talking about how he was like standing in a real line.
Yeah.
and he was the last
Was
of us to
that
get
20
one,
or
I think.
21 when it came out?
He got it, and I got mine in like early 21 because it took forever for me to even get it. I think you and Seth got yours before me.
I got mine pretty quick.
Yeah, because I think
I don't
Cynthia got
thi-
yours
I thought
for
I was
Christmas
the
or
one.
birthday.
No,
Oh, did you get it?
She was gonna buy one on eBay for like $1,200.
Oh, I forgot that. Yeah.
Price
No, I got
calculus,
one
forgot
on
about them.
some obscure website.
Right.
That I watched this one dude, Jake Randall.
Seth had the plug. Let
I
me
had
tell
the plug.
you.
That dude was the plug. I had a friend on Discord. Haven't talked to him since I got a PlayStation. I don't think. But everyone was just trying to get a PlayStation, and we were like, okay, this website's dropping them. and some of it is sometimes
Yep.
it's Target, sometimes it was
Right.
Walmart, Best Buy.
The one I
GameStop.
got was like Anton Line or something. I think that's exactly
Oh,
Anton
yeah.
Line.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I think I told AJ, I was like, hey, you can get one on this website if you
The
hurry.
reason I have a PlayStation 5 now is because Seth told me about a sale.
I just kept getting alerts, and I was
he
like,
would
already
send
got
them to
mine.
me almost every day, or
I
like
remember.
a couple times
I
a week
was-
at least.
I was always working. I always missed them. I actually got my PlayStation from Sony, from one of those. I signed up for a newsletter. And
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, we're doing this," and I was like, "Okay." I waited in queue all day at work. Drove home in queue on my phone. Sat outside hoping my signal didn't drop out, and got it. It was crazy.
Yeah, that would seem like such a long term play. I didn't want to do that, but in the end, it probably would have been just as fast as anything else. I just happened because I kept seeing Seth's text like 30 minutes after he'd send them, and I looked at my phone. I was about to get out of the truck and mow something. I
Yeah.
went to go mow somewhere, and looked at my phone as I'm getting out of the truck right as his text popped up, and he said Best Buy is about to put some out, and I was like, well, let me see if I can do it. I went in, it was just as smooth as ever. Other times, I did a GameStop one time where they were dropping like 2 every 5 minutes or however they were doing it, so bots couldn't buy them all. And I sat on the floor in my bathroom. I was waiting to get in the shower when Seth told me about it. I sat there for like 45 minutes going through checkout over and over and over. And you kept
man.
thinking you would have it. And by the time you got to the end of the checkout, it would say unavailable. And it was like after you would put your card information in.
Right.
And then they
Damn,
wouldn't let you
almost.
have it. Yeah, it's like, did I pay for it or not? God, that was a terrible time.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll have that problem with PS6.
Hopefully not.
Probably.
Surely
not.
they've learned their
With
lesson.
as good as the PS5 is, I won't
Honestly,
even
though,
want the PS6.
Xbox
until-
Six, the next Xbox might win the war. I mean,
Oh,
them
yeah.
having capability of
Pulling in
Steam.
Steam.
Yeah.
That's
oh my
crazy,
goodness.
dude.
That is
Just,
Elder Scrolls 6 will probably be on that, and it won't be on PS6.
just wait. There will be a response.
I still don't know if I believe it. I still don't know.
I don't know.
Microsoft bought Bethesda.
It doesn't matter. They
can still sell the
I will
game.
say there is hope because they did put Oblivion remastered on PlayStation.
Xbox
so-
is being pretty friendly right now. PlayStation being a little bit of a douchebag.
Excuse me. The douchebag war is obviously being won by Nintendo.
Oh, I was about to say,
Everyone just knows that.
they buried themselves though. That's not even a competitive thing.
Nintendo went the whole route of you will own nothing and be happy. Like that's their whole motto.
Nintendo
right now.
has started the game.
Xbox did it too, though.
They tried,
They're
and
about to. No, they're about to release a new game, and it's not going to have a hard. It's not going to have a hard copy. It's going to be download only.
Yeah,
I
but
just watched a video on it.
But with what Tyrell's talking about, Nintendo, like you don't own your console.
Yeah, you
like
don't
the
even-
software on
Right.
it.
They
If
can
you
brick you at
tamper
any
with
time.
it, they'll
Yeah.
brick it. Yeah, it's insane. Microsoft tried this with the latest Xbox before it released, and they were saying this is what we're going to do, and gamers were like, "Well, I guess we're all buying a PlayStation." To the point where it frightened Microsoft so much, they're like, "Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. We're not actually. It's
just a joke.
It's just we're taking it all back. We are going to do these things. We are going to release physical copies of games because they said they weren't going to release physical copies."
Well, Xbox is back at it. They have an exclusive that's going to be downloadable only, and it's a pretty big game, I reckon. I can't remember what it is.
But that's not really that big of a deal though. Just to not have a disc or what?
Indie games
of-
do it all the time. People just
Yeah.
aren't used to it at a AAA. Is all.
I don't even buy discs anymore.
I don't really either.
Right, I don't either, but I know people. A buddy of mine, he plays the games a lot, and he's
Like,
got a lot of money.
Since we have
so-
good internet now, PS6, I'll probably buy the digital one if it's $100 cheaper.
Right.
If I ever buy one. With as good
That's
as the
true.
PS5 is, I'm not going to be in any hurry to get PS6.
My PS5 has never had a disc put in it. Never.
Really?
Yeah.
I put like right after I bought it, I didn't have good enough internet to download games, and I installed like Spider-Man and the Spyro trilogy, like the first few games I bought.
I just bought those.
I
this week.
installed those, and then once I got good internet, I was download only.
I still use a lot of discs, but
I couldn't tell you the
don't
last
do
disc
internet
I
though,
bought.
so that makes sense. Yeah,
Were you saying something, Todd?
yeah go ahead.
I was saying I think I've put 2 different discs. I have Elden Ring on that disc version, and then I have what was the other game? Oh, Breakpoint.
But there are still guys like Tyrell. It's like, got good enough internet to play online, but can't be downloading games all the time. So it's like there's a few
I
people
will
that are.
switch. It's just I just haven't.
Xbox on Steam, that's a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Microsoft-
I don't know why they didn't do that with this Xbox.
Microsoft are coming. They're coming to the table for the next generation. They're coming hard and heavy. Like Sony hasn't really released a response.
Does Microsoft own Steam?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they don't own Steam. I don't think. I don't know who owns Steam.
Oh, maybe not.
It's just a game
don't know.
platform, like a hosting.
download
platform.
games from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Right.
That's all
Yeah.
it is.
I mean-
it's just a store.
But Sony sells to Steam, so you can have the Xbox now and have every exclusive.
Well,
not
PlayStation will
every
either put a stop
exclusive.
to that, or PlayStation will also go,
They
ours
can't,
is going to
though.
be Steam too.
They can't do that because of everyone wanting to put their games for everyone. If they pull back and just keep their exclusives to themselves, people get mad at Sony. Like
Sony's in a predicament.
Well,
Sony's
at the
in
same
trouble.
time, okay, here's the deal. You're Microsoft. You own PCs and you own Xboxes. Why are you doing both if they can both all do the same thing? You can stream from an Xbox. You can do Steam from an Xbox. If they'll just integrate where you can do more with your stream from your console, there will be no need for a PC. So
that might be what they're working towards.
I was honestly super shocked that they put Oblivion on.
PlayStation.
Yeah, because I
PlayStation-
figured
Sony-
You make too much money not. That's
PlayStation
what I think about Elder
probably
Scrolls
has
6.
a contract with with Bethesda that being owned by Microsoft doesn't matter. Just because they own them, they can't come in there and cancel contracts because then Sony would sue them. And it's like, well, why would we lose money when we can make money? And I looked it up real quick. It says Microsoft does not own Steam. Steam is owned and operated by Valve Corporation.
Valve, I knew that,
Privately
yeah.
held corporate. Well, the question is, did Microsoft own Valve? Which I'm assuming, if this answer is correct.
So
that they
why
don't
is
own it.
PlayStation not in cooperation with
See,
Steam?
and that's what I'm thinking.
That's the question.
They
should.
Well, they probably will be. I would imagine the second.
That's the only thing you got.
The second Microsoft rolled this out, they said, "Okay, we got to incorporate Steam." And I mean, you're basically saying there's no such thing as the PC anything because now console, PC, they're all doing the same stuff.
Just the PC's more powerful or whatever.
Right? Yeah,
More
but I mean, if
modding.
you spend $2,000 on something, I expect it to be better.
But what's great about Steam then? Is it because Steam
the
is
library.
it so easy to host games on there? It's like indie people are uploading all the time.
It has a lot of gamer support. It's really easy to get your games on Steam,
Yeah.
and you can start making a living.
Because
if your
that's the only
game
thing. It's
sells
like
well.
every game is on PlayStation Store. It'll be on Xbox Game Pass. It'll be on all those things. Like, why do we need Steam on our consoles?
That's true. Sony does have some exclusives that have not even been put on Steam yet, right? I think they just said they're releasing Spider-Man 2 to Steam. I don't know if God of War Ragnarok
the
is on
trick-
Steam.
I think it
is.
Is it
The
just
trick
it's
with-
new?
It wasn't.
Yeah, the trick with the Sony exclusives, because they want to tap into that, PC market. They release them to Steam like 6 months later.
Right.
That's
And
what they
I don't
do.
have a problem with that. I don't have a problem if Xbox releases. I think everyone ought to do that. Nintendo ought to do that.
Nintendo would never do that.
I know, but they really ought to.
Oh yeah, I did actually.
I went to this concert last weekend.
Oh really? Hold on, let me get you hooked up. In Houston?
Please welcome the Honorable Tate.
Anthony Tate, ladies and gentlemen.
I passed by you, by the way, on your way here.
Oh, did you?
You were in Banner going by my grandma's house, and I was heading to my grandma's house.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was you because of the
red.
ratchet strap.
It's now pink, was red.
What have you got a ratchet strap on?
On the front end of my hood.
His
hold your
entire
hood down?
front.
It's holding it up, yeah.
Tate, you look good. You lost a little weight.
My sister said that. I think what it is you guys. I pinpointed it. What it is you guys are picturing me as fatter than I am. So when you see me in person, it's just like, hey, this guy's not that
You get a
fat.
haircut?
Your face looks
did.
slim.
You got
I
a
mean,
haircut.
I got a haircut and
Cleaned up the beard.
yeah.
But are you sure you haven't lost any weight though? You just look like you're taking up less room.
You're right. Usually you look so fat and slobby.
No,
just don't look sloppy.
usually. Hey, don't take my compliment as an insult.
Not only
always insulting you.
Not only do you always talk, but you always take up as much room as possible, verbally and physically. And now you're not doing
He's
either.
just doing to me what I always do to him when he gives his compliment.
still doesn't know who you
I
are.
was just
Yeah, who
you don't
are
use
you?
enough voices.
Yeah.
Who are you? Why are you even here?
Basic white guy voices.
Yeah. I'm white guy number 3 with a beard.
But what's weird is though, like Anthony's one of the only ones that does a voice, like of the original dudes. Like we all did a voice, all the 4 original.
Cameron
dudes.
still does.
No, Cameron does. Yeah, well, I mean, like
Stupid voice.
the original players
He
all
taps
did a
those
voice.
R's quite a bit. But what are we gonna do? Like at some point he's underwater.
Anthony,
That's going to be his voice for the next campaign.
we were trying to do Say It in Common. We ended up talking about consoles for some reason.
man,
What
yeah.
did you think about the last episode?
Yeah, back to
Considering
Say It
it
in Common.
kind of integrated your one shot that you did, the creation of Aldous and
Yeah. I wasn't able to listen. If I have listened to it, it had to been like right when it first came out. So
Well, you were there though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just piecing it together because, like, to me, I'm always an episode behind. When you ask what do you think of the last episode, I'm thinking not the
one
last
before.
episode, the one before that.
He's thinking
The one where we went,
Pantheon
the one where we went down in the tunnel.
Yeah,
and,
we went to the tunnel and we
With
found
T-Rex.
the resistance and
Yeah.
I still cannot wait for
All the
Cameron
dudes.
to hear about their being a T-Rex in the last game. It's going to blow his mind.
Yeah, nobody tell him.
during this game.
Nobody tell him. Just
Whoa, dude, there's a T-Rex. What?
And I'm going to have to say something snarky.
You can absolutely keep listening. Just because you're in on the podcast doesn't mean you
I
don't
listened to it
listen.
twice.
Oh, but no, I mean, I'm obviously super stoked that what I made was at least worthwhile enough to include in all this. That it wasn't just like dumb,
No, it was great.
'Cause that was
really
my. I
good.
mean, that was my biggest worry is that I was just like hemming and hawing too much, and I didn't piece together a coherent enough story.
It did
That's
go
what I was
on
worried about.
forever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
I listened back to that game and we're like, dude, it's like, it's so late.
Yeah.
well, we caused that too. We messed around for like an hour and a
Yeah, I
half,
think so.
kicking the story off because you never know what's coming.
Yes.
Well, did we?
That bar fight.
When we played your game, was it all still jungle and like lush down there? It was. Wasn't it?
Yeah, because
Completely, because
like,
Jike hadn't taken over.
What
at all
I
yet.
had said was in the story was, of course, and I realized how I buried the lead on the whole thing. I was like, oh yeah, well this is plains, but here's jungle. Like I understand how I get that. That's dumb. But you guys were going into this jungle and there were animals running out of it, like displacer beasts. I remember saying at least once, and other like jungle animals.
Yeah.
That were running away from a problem, and it turned out to be
Stygian rhino or something?
not a Stygian rhino. What's the
was a
the
mechanical
the metal bull?
Yeah.
It breathes out like a caustic gas, and that's kind of what brought me into it. Is like this thing is gonna help, and I could have come up with that. I don't know.
and that was just one of Jike's early
Yeah.
creations.
Right,
Yeah,
Gorgon. That's it. Yeah,
but yeah, it was cool. I mean, and it all tracked.
Puzzle.
I can't remember the puzzle.
It was the NOPE. You have to press your finger into or you unlock the letters in the correct word to say open.
Oh,
But it was
Oh yeah,
I can't remember that far into it.
I forgot that too.
We got it immediately and you was frustrated.
Dang it! You got darn.
It's always the fear of adding a puzzle is will they get it too quickly or will they not get it at all and you've ruined the entire game?
I think too quickly beats not at all every single time.
Oh yeah, that's better. Makes your players
Yeah.
look smart and makes their characters look smart.
Yeah, and you don't have to feed them this information that
Yeah,
they
that's the
obviously
worst.
need.
You don't have to go, oh, the O sure is shining out to you like it's supposed to be first.
Yeah, there's this big like I've seen like big debate around puzzles in D&D before because it's like you're asking your players to solve a thing and like if you have dumb characters, like
Well,
why
I mean-
should they be able to solve it? Like
The
are you rolling for it or is you're just like the actual person, like
Right.
the player, or do they solve the puzzle or your character? And they just say don't do puzzles. It's like puzzles are awesome. I
Well,
love
and it's
puzzles.
also goes with that old adage, or it's not an old adage. This adage that when they're talking about like the waste disposal at Yellowstone, one of the park rangers have been quoted as saying there's a considerable overlap between the smartest bears and the dumbest humans. So you have to make it operable for all the humans, but
Oh,
so
okay.
the
Right.
bears can't get
Yeah.
into it.
Which is a really mean way of, I guess mine's also mean. I was going to say, what do you do when you have a player who's like, my character has an intelligence of 18, they should be able to figure this out. Yeah, but you're stupid.
Yeah.
You real life have an intelligence of like 12, buddy. All right.
I don't know that I've ever seen a dumb person play a smart character though. Like that would be an interesting dynamic right there.
I got you next
You have to
campaign.
play.
What if they did it successfully?
It's like, hey,
You should start
DM,
playing this character every time.
DM, I know I don't know this, but would my character?
I feel like that happens in D&D.
My character would know this.
That's when people want
Because
to
he's-
role play.
he's
with
so smart.
2 L's instead of an E.
Right.
I like to ROLE play,
Right.
not ROLL play.
Yeah.
The dice say I do know.
But your stupidity says you don't.
Liam doesn't remember this, but
Sometimes that's
his
fine.
character would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, feet.
Yeah,
That's
always
fine.
the feet. Always know exactly what direction, or he would
Right.
remember exactly what thing.
And that's
he
fair.
wants to do for
That's fine because you're not asking for too much. Like you're asking for
Yeah.
the stuff that a DM wants to give you anyway. The time of day, the location of the east, west, north stuff.
Yeah.
Like that stuff, no one cares about. Like yes,
Well, not only that, but it's like, oh, what time of day is it? Well, roll a survival check. Natural 1, you don't know.
Yeah. Everybody knows roundabout what time it is.
It looks like daytime, but you've also seen it when the moon is really bright.
The sun is high, but is it noon high? Yeah.
coming down a little bit.
Okay, I wanted to ask, and you probably can't tell us, Seth.
Does he need to head over now?
Who?
Kyle, yeah, he already asked if we're
Cam.
here already.
Do I need to head over? I just got in. Are we at AJ's?
I mean, yeah, whenever. Whenever.
take your time.
D&D at 6.
I was going to ask you, Aldous or Hurst one, I think it was Aldous, said something about if we had a tree, like where Jike is, like then I guess we could teleport, or that would be like our way in there. But he was saying we could get a tree there, and he said and it wouldn't take as long, like as
The way that I think he's saying, like if you can prove yourself to the Grove Spirit, then the Grove Spirit
can
can
grow
grow,
a tree.
something for you where you need.
Oh, okay. So he was literally saying like there's
He was leading us
there's
to
like a god there basically, or like
Not a god,
a
but there's
spirit of
very
nature, like he was
powerful-
saying.
Of Valor.
someone
like
made that. Someone
Valar,
made that connection
yeah.
in the game. Yes.
Like it could actually manifest something somewhere else.
He,
Like there's
Aldous actually said, "We're not protecting the Grove. We're protecting the spirit inside the Grove."
yeah. Well, I just kind of thought
and
he
the
meant,
grove is,
like,
or the spirit of the grove is tied to the grove. So we are protecting
I
the grove.
thought he was just more meaning like there's a spirit of nature there, like just a hypothetical. Like,
Oh man, it's probably Grogu. He's just chilling.
At first, that's what I thought.
Grogu.
At first, that's
Yeah.
what I thought he was
Grogu's-
saying. You know, oh well, there's a spirit of nature here. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm a druid, so.
but then Kyle or Rask brought up Grogu, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't know anything about that."
Well, Hurst did.
Oh, it was Hurst, but Aldous might.
He was asleep.
Surely these druids would be.
You would think.
Gru, I mean, that's the thing.
could also
You can
be really
have
temperamental.
you can have a paladin of nature that's tied to Gru.
Right.
Yeah,
Druids are just tied to the land.
Right.
Orlean
right.
was a warlock.
Huh?
Orlean was a warlock.
Yeah.
Tied to Grugru.
Oh, a pact. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Like the
he did a
druids
Fey
draw
pact.
their power through nature. That doesn't mean they necessarily know the gods of nature.
Could you have a cleric, a warlock, and a paladin all serving the same god?
Yes.
that would be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That
It's just the whole thing is they see what their service towards that deity as different and how
Right.
they go about
right.
it.
Right.
Right. But I mean,
just kind of
that'd
a
be,
difference
that'd
in
Buck
be,
is not a cleric. Buck is a paladin.
He's more of a paladin.
I mean, let's be real. Yeah. The way that I'm set up, but yeah.
Well, it's because you're originally
But
a
you're
fighter,
also a
though.
cleric of war, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
that's
like it's
why.
like the difference between their priest, their sword, and their instrument. What would you consider a druid to a nature god? I guess it would be. Yeah, it's
Well, like
very
a-
similar.
almost
to,
like
A
a
druid
disciple
to a
or a
nature god
servant.
is like the neighbor's gardener, you know?
It would
Like,
just,
hey, I see what you're doing over there, and I really appreciate it. I'm gonna keep it going over here.
it would probably just be more like a devout worshiper, just a follower, basically.
well, I would
You talking
think
about druid?
that they would
Yeah.
be like
It'd be like a
they would be a tool similar to like saying a paladin is their sword. They would be like their gardening hoe. But the priest, the
it's
cleric,
still a
would still be
sword.
the-
Are you saying a
They're
druid?
they're like
if
a steward.
If a
well,
druid
it
is
depends.
tied to a
Steward's
deity,
good.
is what you're
Steward's
saying.
a good
Steward is
word.
great.
Yeah.
That may that
It
would
also depends on the circle too, because
Right.
like depending on like what focus that circle is on, they could be toward like all sorts of different things. Like that fire circle of
Circle of friends.
no, it's a fire themed druid. Circle of
what
Embers or
circle
something like
druid
that.
is. Yeah, the circle
Yeah.
of embers.
In
I
our
think.
game, Steward is very good for the Ashara. Like they are stewarding the last.
It's kind of like they're in like maybe they don't directly worship Gru, but they're like indirectly worshiping him by stewarding
Right.
what he
Right.
or what his domain is.
They worship
glorifying.
his creation.
What
Yeah,
I was going to
They're
say is,
adding to Gru's glory.
Protecting.
Yeah. They're not like in a direct line with Gru of give us power.
But then again, if
They're
this
drawing their
nature
power off
spirit
nature.
is like, if we go down like the Critical Role, wormhole that they just cranked up in their last one, I'm halfway through their third campaign.
I started listening to it this week on the tractor too. Again.
So like if this is like a primordial spirit, gods came in. It's like gods and titans in Greek mythology. They're enemies. They have a lot of some of the things they do can be similar, but the gods are enemies of the titans. Much in the same way in Critical Role, the primordials are the gods are kind of enemies.
You give me spoilers here. I'm
No,
not that
I'm
far
not
ahead.
telling you nothing. I'm not telling you nothing.
I mean,
Laudna just came back to life. Where are you at? How far past that are you?
Laudna just came back to life.
She's always
I'm
dead.
not listening to. Yeah, she was always dead.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I listened to.
Laudna's really the reason I like Campaign 3 so well. I really like
Oh man,
that character. So
have you figured out who Laudna is?
Yeah.
Like who she was when she was alive?
She was killed. Maybe not. I know she was killed in the Sun Tree when Vox Machina came to Whitestone the first time. She was used to represent that.
Yeah.
Vex, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I liked Laudna
Isn't that
and Laura's
nuts?
character. I don't remember her name.
what?
Imogen. was-
Imogen,
Yeah, they were my two favorites.
Aren't they a couple?
Yeah, I guess they get together at the end. Of
Oh,
it.
I didn't know. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. I just thought they were friends.
Nope. Closer than a brother, pal.
Yeah, a bunch of them were. I think in that campaign.
Yeah.
That was just a prerequisite.
Yeah.
I think in that one, aren't they the only two?
No.
Oh, they're not.
I think.
I mean, the
Who else
only
is?
couple. Oh, within the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the
Jenny farts
robot.
with
The
everyone.
robot is
Yeah.
clearly supposed to be a
Fresh cut grass. And then,
they. You know.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is
That's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about being in a relationship. I'm saying like everybody is some type of
Oh.
deviant.
Oh, well, Orem is gay. Orem is gay.
Yeah.
Orem is
His husband's
his
dead.
husband got murdered. And he can't move on.
Talison's characters are they.
They.
It.
I don't know.
he's a
I can't
warm
remember.
genasi, isn't
He,
he?
they.
Yeah.
He, they.
They.
Because he was like, whenever he was first introducing his character, he was like, he, they, he, they.
Sure.
Well, yeah. Well, that was what
I'll
was.
make it interesting.
That was what was. I don't know. Already, if you're listening to it, you're not even watching it. You're already like having trouble discerning
Yes.
the characters right off the bat, and then they're correcting each other on what
Yes.
their pronouns are. It's like this is
crazy.
a fictional character. Just go with it.
The first time I ever got introduced to the they them stuff was on College Humor, and it was Allie Beardsley and Grant. Is it Grant? Not Grant O'Brien.
It would be Grant O'Brien, but big, tall, gay
Big,
guy
tall
with
guy,
glasses.
yes.
Yeah, Grant O'Brien.
And they kept calling Allie they. I was like, what is this improper English that you're doing? Like,
Yeah.
it's clearly a woman.
it's clearly a woman.
Like, you can call, if you don't know someone's gender, if you're talking about someone outside, like, they are coming. Like, that is, that works there. But she's standing right in front of you. Call her or she.
You took it as like,
I was like,
dude, she's gonna be so offended.
This is insanity. And then I as I kept watching, I was like, oh, they're doing this on purpose. This girl doesn't know she's a girl.
She doesn't know. She's confused.
Oh,
man.
goodness.
I was watching Game Changer with Beardsley on there, and somebody had brought up they had like their sister or something, and she goes, "Dude, if I had a sister, I probably wouldn't be as messed up as I am." Or something like that.
I
can't
just
remember
watched
again.
Allie play on the Prof show, Shuffle Up and Play.
Shuffle Up and Play.
I think she won. Yeah, she did. Like, she
The
Was
what?
that
show?
a
What
magic?
show is this?
Magic?
Yeah, Shuffle Up and Play.
Yeah.
What is this on?
YouTube.
Tolarian Community College.
Talk a little bit about magic.
Are we done talking about the community? Hold on. I wanted to apologize to Tyrell for the last
man.
game. Because when y'all are going into y'all's deep lore stuff for y'all's character that I know the answer to, I sometimes will be like, yes, I'll answer the questions that everyone
He's
else
like,
is
go
asking.
on. It's like, go
Yeah,
on.
yeah. And then sometimes they're like, y'all will say something like, no, that's not right. I guess he saw me shaking my head no at something someone was saying, and he thought I was telling him not to talk about his backstory.
Yeah, I did. I thought you were saying don't say anything, so I was like, okay, I won't.
That's why he was being.
I guess.
So,
I was as flabbergasted as y'all. Why is Tyrell not sharing with y'all? He told me after the game, he's like, I saw you shaking your head no. I was like, no, absolutely not. I think I was just saying no as in the question they were asking. That was not correct.
outside of game, can you divulge anything about you and your god?
He just needs to get into it in game. Like you
always
have
bored,
permission to
yeah.
open.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
I
so-
hold nothing back.
So it's like, so we're gonna do the recap, and then he's just gonna come forward and be like, "I gotta do it.
It's been on my chest for too long.
I have a confession to make.
I love her."
Which before the game, I do want to get with you and make sure I have your backstory.
We'll
straightened
try to
out.
bring it up organically.
But yes, never feel
Kelly
like I'm
for being
telling
a
you
jerk.
not to go through stuff. Like, yeah, your character, your story, you tell it whenever it comes up. That was funny though. Sorry, Magic the Gathering. We want to talk about Magic the
I
Gathering.
saw you posted something on the Discord about.
Oh man,
Sonic
the Hedgehog,
Sonic Secret Lair.
and more importantly,
Is
Shadow.
Is that the newest thing that's out? I thought it was Final Fantasy.
No,
Little side
it's
thing.
just a side thing.
Is Final Fantasy out yet or no?
Yeah, it's out.
Oh,
Really
okay.
good.
Yeah, our last Whatnot stream, we sold we had 2 sealed packs and we sold all 60 of
I
them.
missed it again. I had a show I wanted to watch so bad, and I missed
Dude,
it.
I was in a
one
creek-
dude alone bought over half. I think he bought a full box just sporadically. He'd just buy 4 at a time. He'd like, open 2, send 2, open 2, send 2, open 2, send 2. And the very last one, he bought 20 all at the same time.
How
Did he say
how
open
is
10?
Yes, he did. He said, open 10, send 10.
that? Is he a seller too?
Maybe, I don't know.
He
How-
wanted you to have content, but he wanted his car.
I don't know how
he
it's
was awesome. That
How
guy
it
was
works so
awesome.
well. I don't. It's crazy to me.
I feel so bad because Victory Screecher buys a lot from us, and I feel awful. Like,
Oh,
why.
well,
because he's spending money on me, and I don't like it.
Why? Just because you know him
It's not
personally?
Stop giving me money for things I don't think is worth it.
and it's not just that. Seth posted, got a new pack, and Victor Screecher's like, yes! And Seth was like, no.
Well, I mean, it does save him traveling around to get the stuff.
I guess. And
Well,
that's
are you?
the thing.
Could he get it cheaper at a card shop? I mean,
No,
Depends on what he's
not
bidding.
really.
okay. Well, if he's going to spend the money anyway,
Yeah.
Thanks for the support, Noah.
I, the biggest thing I try not to be gross with my prices. Like, I've got to make some money and Whatnot take some of it, so I do go a few dollars. But a lot of my stuff is right at TCG level. I just try to buy cheap. I bought the 2 boxes of Final Fantasy off eBay for $150 a box. That's a great deal, isn't it? They're going for $210 right now.
That's a great deal.
So I was able to sell them for $9, and I think you can technically buy them at Walmart when they're available for $7. But
If they're available,
if
they're
they're
not usually
available.
available.
But right then
and on
there-
TCG Player, they're $12 or
Yeah.
$11.50.
so I sold all of those for $9. I made a couple.
Oh, they don't bid on those. That's not the roulette
You
thing.
can't.
do?
No, I did those just buy it now.
Gotcha.
Because like I said, I do not want to be skeevy. I am not trying to take advantage of people. I'm trying to give people a good. Like, we did do a game that first time,
Yeah.
but we had some good prizes, and like, people were not going crazy high. I would have probably felt sick if someone bid like $30 and bought a $7 pack like I've done before.
Oh man. And I've seen them too. I haven't watched Whatnot in a minute, and I'm gonna catch one of Seth's streams one of these days. But I was in the creek. I was like,
shout out your what's your Whatnot name again?
TCG Evolved. TCG_Evolved.
Go find it.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
Get some notifications on there.
Or just join our Discord. I always tell when I'm gonna.
Basically, everything's in the Discord. If you don't want to follow all the social media and all the crap, just get on the Discord because everything gets announced in there.
One of our next streams actually is going to be sports cards. I think maybe this might not come to pass.
really?
but Kyle
Who's gonna
has
do that?
Kyle is going to do this one. He has a friend who has like 1,000 classic sports cards. Some of them are slab, some of them aren't. And like he said, like low end value on these could be like $500 up to $75,000. Like,
So
we won't make that,
right,
But,
but they could be valued at
yes,
that.
people
if
can
they're-
buy them for a good value.
Is he giving them to you, or he just wants you to sell them for him?
We're going to sell them, and we're going to get a quarter of the profits
Okay.
if he decides. Kyle looked up the pricing on all of them, came up with a plan, and said, "This is what we'll do for you. If you want to do it, we'll do it for you. If you don't, we don't have to." I haven't heard back from him if we're going to do that. But like he's got some rookie Jordans. He's got some rookie Kobe's. Like,
Really?
Yeah, he's got a lot of cool stuff. It'd be a very fun thing to do.
And you'll give Noah a break.
Yeah,
Unless he buys
unless he's
sports
interested in
cards.
sports cards. Maybe his dad. We'll just get Noah's dad. Because
Oh, there
Noah's
we go,
dad
there
is
we
huge
go.
on the sports cards.
It's like, Noah, we're going to give you a break here. Call your dad.
Yeah. It's fun though. I like being there. It's just fun to
That
watch.
first night, the one that you actually came to, the game, that one was more fun because like you don't know what someone's going to get. Since then, we've sold at pretty much set prices, and and that's cool. We're just hanging out. Then there's no mystery to it, and people are mostly just.
Are you going to do that again?
Eventually, the thing about that one was I had accumulated so much stuff from Whatnot. Mostly, I'd been I had that Brothers War box that was worth like $80 that I'd spent like 14. So we made pretty good money because I had gotten all that stuff cheap on Whatnot. But we blew it all. Like we every good thing I had, I put into that game, and we made.
Did you even do the serialized whatever it was called?
Yep.
Is that
Yep.
okay?
Yep.
Cool.
Victory Screecher actually won the Brothers War box. So I remember
you
that was
saying that.
pumped up that it went to him.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't remember someone else won that serialized.
Time to something. It was an extra turn spell.
But we made it was stitching time. We made $200 that night profit. Like I think profit of what it should have costed, not what we. So we probably made more than that. Right. So that was cool. Ever since then, though, we've made some good money selling just product and selling singles, selling packs, and
so it is profitable.
Yeah.
It's worth.
Yes.
I will say I do not expect Edge of Eternities to turn as much of a profit as Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has
Final
been
Fantasy's
gangbusters. It's
Now people still want to open packs though.
Yeah.
But you're not going to have to put so much into it. Like I can pre-order an Edge of Eternity's playbox right now for just $100.
Right.
And then I can sell those packs for like $5 or $6 and still make like $30 or $40 more.
Yeah.
And be just
I think Edge of Eternities would be a good set. I just don't. It won't. It's not gonna be what Final Fantasy was. Just like everything around Lord of the Rings wasn't what Lord of the Rings was. Yeah. Similar.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings was the first big taste, and then Final Fantasy has been the second big taste.
Lord of the Rings was probably what put it in Wizards of the Coast's head. We got to start pushing this more. And it's made a lot of people upset. I see it all the time.
And it's made a lot of people new fans. So.
Yep. And with the Sonic, so the secret layers are a completely different thing. Final Fantasy is a core set that's going to be standard legal, which is the first time for not Final Fantasy content. But with Sonic, it's just like 7 cards, 7 unique cards plus a couple of reprints with a Sonic theme. And it's just you just buy those cards or you don't buy those cards.
I think
they won't
all
be
the
standard
Sonic
legal.
characters are originals.
They are. The 7 Sonic characters are new cards.
Some of the equipment cards are.
But all of the other 2 sets are all reprints of other stuff that has a little bit of value. I don't know how much of it's in there. I would love that Shadow card. I would love to have the Shadow, make a Shadow deck around it just because it's fun. I like
boring
Shadow.
everyone here.
No.
No, y'all go ahead. The people that are listening are care about it. I'm listening.
The Sonic looks really good, and that's coming from someone who does not care anything about Sonic.
I actually like specifically I like Shadow, but I do like the Sonic stuff.
Do y'all? Would you shy away from so say Sonic for example? Say it has great cards in it. Would you get cards out of it even if you're not a Sonic fan? Like just to use the cards?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like,
There are people who won't. I would. Like I'm not a Doctor Who fan. So one day maybe I'll watch Doctor Who. I have Doctor Who cards because
they're
work
just because they're good cards.
They're
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm excited about the Spider-Man.
And it works the other way around. I don't play Magic the Gathering, but I would get a whole deck of those Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering cards just to have them.
Yeah.
Seth's gonna hook you up.
Not right now. I need to. I've got there's a box
I have
on
some. That was a
eBay
bunch
for
of what I got last
$150. That's not a bad price at all. I just haven't bought some yet.
I still
take
need
his
to,
word for it that $150 isn't a bad price.
No, it's a box.
That's a whole box. Yeah.
I still need to build a deck. I really want to just so
the
I can play.
collector boosters of the Lord of the Rings, like for
I mean-
15 cards, is over $100. Like
Insane.
It's because
But we
they
also-
still have serialized rings in them somewhere.
But you also remember, how much the one ring went for. That was in.
Well, how many of those
that's
are
printed.
there?
There's only
one ring,
There's one
So-
ring.
and it's got the
And who
the
ended up
Elven-
with it?
Post Malone.
Post Malone?
bought it
Okay.
from a guy in Canada. Yeah.
For how much?
$2 million.
I just want to also say that guy in
the
Canada,
whole thing is written in black speech.
the shop that he bought it from is
It's
also the shop that buys more Magic the Gathering product than any other shop in the North America. So go
Not
figure.
black
What
speech.
was it?
I don't remember.
Because
but-
Black
Still, I
Speech is
feel like
D&D,
that's
isn't it?
just buying a lottery ticket, though.
Black
Like,
speech is
I
D&D,
forget the name
isn't
of
it?
the
No,
store,
that's
but
deep
yeah.
speech. Black
It was
speech.
Black Speech on the ring. Yeah.
Black Speech is Lord of
The whole card is written
More-
in black speech.
yeah.
And
It looks sick. And
It's
it
a,
says
it's a one of one.
001/001.
Right.
Deep speech is what like aberrations, mind flayers, stuff like that speak.
Yeah.
and,
And then is there 500 of the other ones?
Well, there is.
thought that
They
was-
made elven rings, human rings, and dwarven rings, and they made those numbers. So three.
Oh, there's not serialized number of the One Ring? I thought there was other serialized that were in English.
I don't know.
deep speech is supposed to be like, sorry, crosstalk.
Into the, yeah.
I was gonna say deep speech. From what I remember,
Yeah, it's you're right.
I thought Deep Speech was underground. Or, I
what
mean,
they-
was
the Underdark is
D and
what
D
it
though.
is.
It's D and D. It's not Lord of the
yeah,
Rings.
right.
Yeah.
But deep speech is what mind flayers, aberrations, all that stuff speak.
Oh, okay.
But also the written version of it is supposed to be, from what I understand, is like a form of what's that called?
Runes.
The blind people. The
Braille.
It's like
Cool.
Braille. It's like bumps, like no type thing. Cool. Read it.
See, coming back all the way to something that we were talking about at the beginning of our podcast, the Tolkien estate. I wonder how they felt when they gave licensing to Magic the Gathering.
Oh, I
and
bet
they
they
made
weren't
all their
happy.
humans black. Like
I can't imagine they were happy.
you got
with
a
it.
black Aragorn, you got Black King of Rohan, you got Black Eowyn. Like, I wonder how they felt
Really?
about that.
Like Vikings?
Eowyn was a elf.
No.
Eowyn? Oh, no, no.
Eowyn's
Elf
daughter
was,
of
no,
Arwen.
elf, she was the shield maiden, sorry.
Yeah, Eowyn.
They were based on the Anglo-Saxons.
Exactly. I said Black Vikings.
Rohan was.
I don't hate the art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's grown on me actually. I want to make an Aragorn deck, but like,
I got one, but
it is.
I don't care
but
about Aragorn. In
They
it.
black. And I wonder how the Tolkien estate feels about that. But
So if I want to build a deck, I need to just buy a Commander
singles.
starter pack. No, should I buy-
You can.
I would buy a precon first, and
and then sub stuff out.
I wish that you'd have been on that one day because I figure you'd have bought that that Bloomborough and
That's kind of the theme that I want. I want like animals and undead stuff.
yeah, it was the raccoon
Or undead animal.
yeah, it was what's the raccoon Bello
don't
the
know.
bard.
Can I make a good deck like that? Because I'm way
absolutely.
more. I would be way more
Wouldn't that
into
be
this
black?
game.
Absolutely.
Of like just building out of things that I think are cool, rather than like
absolutely.
trying.
Wouldn't
to-
that color be black if it was undead?
black green?
black green? Yeah.
There's my undead's mostly black, but there's probably a little bit of white undead too. White has a really strong graveyard recursion theme as well. There's a few white undead stuff.
The
but not
colors
a lot.
aren't exactly in line with what you would think. I looked up all the colors.
I'm
one
basing
day.
this off of like Green Lantern's lore, you know?
Black isn't just like. It doesn't necessarily mean like undead.
They each color.
They have a lot of
has-
vampires. They have a lot of
There's
Green is
zombies.
willpower, blue
There's
is
a color
hope.
pie, and it's more like what does this color want to do or want to do better than everyone else. Like black actually is considered a very jack of all trades. It's the only color that can do all the things the other colors can do, but usually it costs you life, your own life, to do it.
You're a necromancer.
Yeah.
That's black. I think black is the only one. Black has counter spells. Black has buffs. Black has burn. Black has destroy, which is the best at destroy. It does its own thing plus a little bit of something everybody else does, just not as well as they do it. And it usually costs you life in this.
What?
If you want to make big armies that
That's white.
go wide, that's white, red a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I want like a lot of stuff out there.
White, red. You'd like Boros.
Boros would be fun. Yeah.
See that the other day.
Winota.
I pulled it, when I went to Dustin's LGS and we played in that tournament. I won third place and I got 2 packs that I got to open. I didn't open them until I got home. I should have opened them there. People would really like that. I don't know why I didn't, because I always plan on opening them.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I pulled a Lightning Army of 1.
Oh, nice.
And she goes for about $20, so I immediately sold her. Dexter actually bought her for $22 on that. That was one that I
On
started.
Whatnot?
I started at $15, and people just kept bidding up to $22, and Dexter bought it. But she's white red, and like she has this thing where when she has first strike, but anything that attacks after her for the rest of the turn does double damage. So if you have like 15 things, she hits first, and then all of them hit for double damage.
Oh,
and then if
man.
you have some like lightning spells or stuff like that, they hit for double damage. Very, very cool card.
And if you're running Avery's Boros Commander, it already doubles damage because he uses that Angel, or I think Aurelia or something. She doubles all your damage. So your lightning would do double damage, and then all your other damage would be quadruple.
It's one of those deals where it may take you 10 turns to get all your stuff out there, but then you kill everybody in one turn.
Those decks are very prone to board wipes.
Kind of like Seth's sliver deal.
I don't think he runs board wipes. I don't remember any.
Well, not exactly, but like
Seth overwhelms the board with slivers.
like
yeah.
when we played.
I never feel like I did. I overwhelmed the board with my Food and Fellowship deck the other day way more.
Yeah, but when we played and you had all those slivers, it was like it didn't really look like you were accomplishing much, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, he's got way too much. All of a
I
sudden,
think Edge of Eternities, it's either going to be slivers or Eldrazi or both. I don't know yet. Teferi, yeah, Teferi's going to be. He's going to be a core.
Pleasant Kenobi already has some sneak previews. They showed a Teferi card, and then they showed some lands.
We've already seen it. Teferi, Cruel Captain, looks really good. It's so good. Artifact enters, he gets a loyalty counter. That's the most powerful loyalty counter ability a Planeswalker has ever had. You can just boom, make him big in one turn because a lot of decks are good at just throwing artifacts on them.
I'm hoping slivers are coming back in Edge of Eternities.
It's possible.
when are y'all doing your Magic podcast again?
I don't know.
Mandatory.
I've been busy like the last 3 weeks. I was out
I
of
keep
town
asking him. He's just saying.
I just
no.
can't.
It's my fault probably because I have to do it late at night after my kids.
Yeah, he asked me yesterday. I think you said didn't you ask
Last
me
week.
earlier this week if we could do it after the stream on Friday? I think you did.
I think that was last week.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe it was. But yeah.
No, last night I went to bed as soon as I got home. I've been on that tractor and I've been exhausted.
I got you.
Ty, what have you been doing? Still liking your job?
Yeah, I like it all right. It's been
AJ hates it.
I hate your job. You quit that job, boy.
He lost his friend.
it is. The last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy.
Hot?
Yeah, that too. But it's not that bad in there. The other building, the other building's a different story. It's like 100 and something degrees in there every single
Oh
day.
man,
probably
My dad's
know
working
there's a heat
second, and
wave.
he said that it's like 110, and there's like they've had to shut down a couple times and go home early. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
Wow.
that furnace and stuff that they have over there in building 1 is like, well, multiple. They got die cast and several other things in there. But anyway, it gets really, really hot in there. I worked in there last week.
oh, you've
It
been
was.
moving around a little bit.
They put me over there for 2 hours just to work, and the work's not bad. It's just the heat is just
Yeah.
overbearing.
This won't come out before Monday, will it?
No,
Cam's here.
I'm excited about going to Hunter's birthday.
Me too. Since when are you a part of that, by the way?
I mean,
is Tay going?
he texted
Apparently.
me. He texted me and said, "Hey, are you going?" I was like, "Hey, Haley, do I have anything going on this Monday?" No. Well, would it be all right for me?
Showed some interest in it. That's why.
Would it be all right for me to go to Heber? Yeah. Okay, I'll go.
I asked Larster, I was like, how many players? And he's like, well, and he rings them all off, and I was like, that's T at the end of the list. I only knew me and Seth were going. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Dude, Slarster, we're just normal people.
Yeah.
He's like, man, it's like y'all are celebrities to us. What drinks do y'all want? What food do y'all want? I was like, bro,
I'm so sad. I'm
Like
missing
you're
it.
one of like
bro.
6 people that knows us.
we do not need anything special. Just like water is fine.
We appreciate it.
Oh, Kyle's here too.
Well, there are now.
But me and Kyle has actually met them quite a few times. We brought them their cards that they bought just the other day. They's like, here's our address. Just bring them by. They live like 2 minutes away from Kyle.
Oh man.
Y'all can grab a couple stools over there if you want. What the
You're
heck?
prickly. Prickly hair. You either need to shave or grow it out. 'cause that
Grab a
prickly
stool and a mic.
It's not good for anybody.
Dude, I'm so sorry if I smell like trash, you guys.
I
Who
had
have
to-
you met, AJ?
Slarster.
Just Larster. Okay.
Yeah.
And I haven't met Slarster or Avery.
I haven't
think
met
you've
any
met
of them.
Avery, right?
Yeah, I met Avery.
So you've
I've
met everybody.
Yeah, I've met all 4 of them.
Yeah, I just haven't met Slarster and Avery yet.
I haven't met any of them, but
Well, you're about to, I guess.
Yeah.
We Hunter and Noah came and played Magic at my house.
Good old time.
with Dexter.
With Dexter,
and,
yeah.
It's always good to invite, people that you met off the internet to your house. It always works out good.
Always works out. That's right.
Is that something y'all are doing now?
Shut up.
It is for sure.
No, I'm going to their house this summer. I'm going to where their children are.
No, they're good folks.
They are. They're cool.
Hold on.
We appreciate you guys.
You'll have to cut every bit of that.
No, do I really? What did I have to cut?
Oh, frick. I forgot we're not.
Did you actually say something bad? I was focused.
Don't
There was nothing bad said, was there?
We know where you live. We know where your kids live.
That mic ain't even on yet. What mic did you have? Where was that? Right there?
Right next to my foot.
Okay.
Ground game.
Hold on. Do I actually
trash.
need to edit that?
Like,
Okay.
I
Think about
came
it.
up
And
here,
It'll probably sound
worked on my
worse.
truck, then went to my grandma's and was working in mud and rain and crap.
Good, yeah.
And,
baby. I knew this is where the gay guys were.
So
I
it-
smell like sweat real bad. Sweaty daddy.
Why are you here?
Who gave you a ride here? Cameron?
No, he just pulled it.
I drove.
No, he
I
walked.
drove.
Kyle, can you say something
Aren't
in
you
your
supposed to
mind?
be 5 hours away?
Hi. Yes, I am. My sister.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, what's going on?
Car troubles. Couldn't make it to the funeral. Oh. I don't know why that's funny. It's true.
How'd you get here?
I drove.
In his car that's having troubles.
Well, I mean, it's one thing to drive at 15 minutes and a different one to
Yeah.
drive at 5 hours.
Yeah, thank you, AJ. Yeah. Yes.
I mean,
We're going to need to cut this.
His
family listens.
Oh,
we're just gonna cut him out completely.
Yeah.
in case my grandma listens.
Yeah.
Brit.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ouch.
Does that actually need cut? I don't know what
She's dead, AJ. She can't listen. She can't listen.
So,
It's really wrong.
obviously, we're masking all of this with humor, but I'm sorry for your loss.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I'll never see that side of the family again. I don't care about those people.
Oh, okay.
Only her.
Only her.
Yeah, she's gone.
Well,
they're
So
all-
what
but
was the point of
she was a
going?
good one. She was a good one.
yeah. Well, to me, she was good. I was
Yeah.
a favorite. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a really bad one though.
Gotcha. I've been there. I've seen that.
Super racist, super picky. You know.
Oh, okay.
That's why you loved her so much.
Yeah, absolutely. That was her
He's
favorite.
blonde.
You just described like every old person
He's blonde. He has blue eyes. I mean,
Aryan.
he
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
she's German. You
Yeah.
know, straight German. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
Dead serious.
So like you
German.
fit the mold perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
why I was her favorite. I was the only one that turned out like
Blonde
this.
hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, for real.
All of your cousins are half breeds. You know, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Hey, does anyone want a cookie? I brought cookies.
in a minute.
Need a cookie out my butt.
All right. Okay. I mean, sure.
I'm glad AJ is going to edit this
Let's not
episode.
forget that AJ tries not to edit these.
I might have to cut all this out. I may have to actually listen to this one.
Just find where Kyle walked in and just
Yeah,
know
it shouldn't be hard to
coming.
It won't be hard to find. It's where everything got louder.
Is anybody missing tonight?
I don't.
Not now.
Not as far as I know.
What about Dexter?
He'll be on the
He'll
way.
here.
I don't think Tyrell will be here. You know that job he got? It's kind of rough.
He sucks.
Where's Tyrell?
Crap, dude.
He's never around.
Wasn't there a joke?
almost
Where's
didn't come
Tyrell?
here.
What is that joke?
No,
What?
it was Anthony.
No, it's Where's
I think.
Anthony
Where's
was the
Anthony?
joke. But
Yeah.
I don't know where it
you remember
came from.
Tyrell? We used to lose him all the time, and he was right there.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when.
Anyway, what were you gonna say, Ty? You almost didn't come.
Yeah, I almost didn't come. Yesterday, I found out that they were going to work today. So,
And you said.
And you
"Let me
said no thanks.
Get the heck out of here before.
well, she gave me a choice between working and not, and I was like, if you don't mind, I'd like to take it off.
W Tyrell.
Hey, W's in the
You
chat.
don't need to
Been there
pay your
long enough
bills.
to choose.
Yeah, that is
Attaboy,
nice. That
Ty.
is nice.
I just tell him I would prefer if you put me on first.
I worked weekend before last. I didn't work last weekend, but I did weekend before last.
Would you rather be on first shift, or do you like?
I don't like.
You don't like where you're at currently.
I'll say this after the podcast, but I like second shift. All right.
Okay.
Okay. for all the corporate ears.
Tyrell is completely. He is so happy with everything right now. He's satisfied in his work, and he produces.
Bosses
so
aren't trash.
AI is always listening.
You never know. Tyrell
Yeah,
might
they'll
be
get the
turning people onto the
transcript of this bad
podcast
boy.
over there.
Yeah, in 20 years when this really blows up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who knows?
Oh,
Tyrell
man.
might have people over there listening to the podcast. Half of our listeners are because of me working and telling people about the podcast. Tyrell, you know?
Imagine like 100 years after we're all gone, this is just still on Podbean, and someone just like, I love these guys. I wish I could have been there.
They're all dead and gone.
Look at these archives.
I was thinking back. I was like, if we were like, when I am like 60 and I can listen back to this, like it's listening to that the soundtrack that AJ created and being like, that's max damage on a natural 20. That's gonna excite me so much.
Well, now, here's what'll happen though: is I'll
You'll develop
die.
a heart murmur in the
And
nursing home.
it'll be up to my kids to pay the podcast subscription, and they won't, and it'll all be gone. It'll just be buried on a hard drive somewhere.
No. It's all on YouTube.
I'll die, and my kids will auction off all my belongings, and somebody will end up with the hard drive with all of our episodes on it. They'll be like, what the heck is this? Clear that off.
Wow, they were playing the PlayStation 5 back then.
PS12.
That is pretty common. Get rid of that.
Yeah.
Trash.
But I mean, it just gives it also. It's like a time capsule. I mean, you and I found out we were going to be dads while we were in this process.
It is. It's wild to have stuff documented like that.
Yeah, lots happened.
We went through COVID and
It happens a lot now. Like I've been watching true crime quite a bit, so I see a lot of these like YouTubers turn mass killers, and it's weird when there's hours and hours and hours of these people's videos on the internet. You know, they got people subscribed to them and watching their whole life, and they turn around and kill their family and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
there
you
was
used
one
to
dude
not have
did
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he
several.
started off. He like killed a dog or something.
Yeah,
and
I
uploaded
just watched that one.
Yeah.
Did it for the views.
There was a guy, I can't remember what his channel was called. He's like Jin something. But he killed his girlfriend, like, just randomly, just out of the blue. Like, he seemed like a normal dude. Like, he was like, he made like a lot of like Skyrim joke content and stuff like that. And then he killed his girlfriend. Like, just, I think he like
It's
stabbed
wild
her to death.
because these people are famous. Nobody really knows them. You know, they got 100,000 subscribers, and all these people are like, "Oh, yeah, this guy's really cool. He makes all these videos." And next thing you know, he's in jail.
I heard about a much smaller case than that, like for just 10,000 views or something. This one guy found out a rival was in Las Vegas and came and shot him and his girlfriend just like on the strip in the middle of Las Vegas. These guys just think that they are famous and that they can get away with anything,
Yeah.
and they just can't. It's crazy.
Nobody even knows who you are. Yeah, you can have 100,000 subscribers and like
I was the Red Ranger.
nobody
once.
knows who you are.
I was thinking about him.
100,000
There's
is
a
nothing.
curse on Red Rangers.
Dude, the one about the boat. Have you heard that story?
No, I know the dude with the sword who
I
was from
listened to-
Dino Thunder.
Yeah, I listened to
He committed suicide just recently, right?
Tommy. Not recent. I mean,
but-
it was when we were talking about it when we left his house after a D&D session. Tommy.
But he also lost a child, so he was going through a lot.
Oh,
Right.
golly.
Oh yeah.
Him and his wife were trying to like get their life back in order, and he just couldn't take it.
Who are you talking about? Red Ranger?
Tommy, the White Ranger, who was the Green Ranger.
White Ranger, Red Ranger,
He
Black Ranger.
on
He's been
Dino
a lot of-
Thunder, he was like the
Black Ranger.
Oh, the
sensei.
Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
okay.
did that not click immediately?
Yeah, Tommy, man.
I thought you were talking about a YouTube channel.
Oh, Park Rangers?
Oh, yeah.
Because we were talking about
Yeah,
about YouTube channels, and then somebody said Red Ranger. I was like, oh, it must be a YouTuber. I was lost. for a
But
minute.
the Red Ranger that was in Dino, I think it was Dino Thunder.
I don't know.
One of
No.
the Red Rangers took a sword and attacked somebody.
That
when
was
they-
that was like the space police
Wasn't that
ranger.
wasn't
Red
that
Ranger.
like self-defense?
No, it was No, it was Wild Force. It was Wild Force.
Red-
It was the Wild Force Red Ranger. After Wild Force had ended, he took a sword and attacked somebody and ended up going to prison for it.
I could
I
have
don't know
sworn
if he
there was
killed
Ranger
somebody that
sword.
got. I could have sworn there was someone that like attacked someone with a sword, but it turned out to be self-defense.
How do
I
you
don't
attack somebody with a sword in self-defense, though? That's
You're not coming easy.
It's like they're attacking you and you get a sword.
I had a cousin.
yeah. I mean, if you were in your house, I guess. Man.
I had a cousin.
Attorney
who was a
says it
kid
was
diddler,
self-defense.
and he would come
Oh, the
around.
attorney said it was self-defense.
And my grandpa
but it
had
He
Yeah.
wasn't.
admits
sword.
to killing him, but it was
And
self-defense.
every time
is
he'd
what
come
he
over,
says.
I'd just
Okay,
I'd
that's-
hold
that's
that
what it
sword
was.
beside me in case this kid tried anything. would've-
tried to diddle you?
Yeah.
In case he tried to diddle you. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wait,
You,
what?
you,
Sword
you
for
kept a
self-defense.
sword.
Sword for
I
self-defense,
understand.
I understand.
That's how
I
you
was
defend
prepared.
yourself.
Well, it's just like normally you say something self-defense. It's like you were in the street, somebody tried to rob you, you had a pocket knife, you had a gun. I had my sword.
Yeah.
I had a two-handed weapon.
Now, what if it's a cane sword? Don't you feel foolish now?
Yes.
Yes,
I
I remember.
do.
What
If
it
you're
looks like.
concealing a cane sword,
You know, speaking of people that carried swords out in public, there was this one dude. His name was Brad Lee. He went by Brad, and I absolutely hated his guts. He was the most annoying human being I ever met.
I mean, if you
And-
carried a sword in public,
Bro, I caught him on Main Street in a like I don't want to say it was like a duster, like a straight up duster,
like a trench coat?
Yes, cowboy hat. It
sounds
It was almost a two-handed sword, but it was a one-handed sword that he had on his thing, and then he had
is
like
this
a hatchet on
sword
his
and a
right
half?
side. Yeah.
Oh, he's
yeah,
the
like
coolest
a
human
hand
being
and a
ever.
half. Yeah.
you actually knew this guy,
No, I absolutely. Yeah.
and he thought he was in a video game.
Yeah. Yeah, he was legit. He was a weirdo.
Don't you fight against my
That kind. Yeah, he was that right there. Yeah.
Arthur
what?
Morgan.
Yeah.
what was that? What was that?
That was an anime guy.
It's on our
what-
Discord.
What ended up happening though? Did he get in trouble?
What? No, he's seen me grab the top of his hat, tilts it down like a cowboy, and walks across the crosswalk.
Was this in Heber
Heber
Springs?
Springs, man. Main Street.
And he had a sword.
He had a sword on him.
And a hatchet.
Hand and a half sword. Should have probably been on his back. It was pretty long.
Okay, let me ask you this: are you more nervous around somebody you can tell they have a gun, like say they're open carrying, or somebody that has a sword?
So
A sword?
gun.
That's not. That is someone who is very
It takes
unstable.
them longer to pull the sword out.
No. Here's my deal.
The
Here's
gun
my deal
might
with
be
that.
better for the
I am-
job, but that's
I am-
exactly why I'm more nervous about the sword guy. He is unstable.
I have no qualms about anybody carrying their own weapon. I have no problem with it. But anybody, in a lot of cases,
You have to
I have
question
the
why would
same-
you have a sword?
I have the same amount of feelings about both of those people.
Like if you were gonna
Sword
do
or gun.
if you were gonna do something with the gun though, you wouldn't have it out where everybody could see it. Like if I come into a place and I see somebody
disagree.
open carrying, I'm like, okay, if something pops off, they're gonna either shoot that guy first or he's gonna protect me. But a guy comes walking in with a sword, I'm like, what is this guy about to do?
I
just
see
isn't-
someone open carrying, and I just think you're just inviting trouble.
Yeah, I
that's my
agree.
thought.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to open carry. You can
No.
you can conceal carry.
Right.
You're open carrying for you're looking to use that thing.
Yeah, it's like I wish you
You're
would.
wanting
Yeah, that's
you're wanting
exactly
an
right.
argument.
Or you're trying to intimidate people and be
Yeah.
like, I mean,
I don't like when I see someone.
but it's also legal to do that. You don't have to.
I feel like a liberal.
Doesn't
but
make you less than a dude. Less of a
no, I
douche,
get what
though.
you're
Like,
saying.
I
though.
mean,
yeah.
well, you have to have a license to conceal
You're-
carry.
what
So if
it
you
is
do
is-
want to carry a gun and protect yourself, you don't have to get a license to open carry a gun.
yeah. So people need to know who the douches are, so you can open carry.
Right.
Yeah, it's fair.
if I see
but-
someone walking around with a sword, I probably am just laughing.
They're just open carrying,
Yeah.
bro.
I don't
That's
know.
all they're doing.
If I have more confidence
Those
that
are
somebody with a
bare
gun
arms.
is going to miss me than somebody with a sword. Like, dude, run up on you with a sword. What do? It's over already.
You get close to me, and like I'm keeping my distance from the guy with the sword because I mean, obviously, there's
Like
you
the
know.
closer the guy with the gun is
I'm
like,
gonna
yeah,
be
I could
honest
probably,
also-
he's not going to hit me with a gun from
Hey,
that
I'm gonna be
close.
honest though. If somebody, the type of headspace that somebody's got to be in to carry a sword,
Exactly.
you can probably outrun them.
You could outrun Brad.
You can probably outrun.
I'm gonna be the most athletic.
When I think of someone who open carries a sword, they are probably about 300 pounds.
I'm not, bro. He wasn't. He's like 6'5",
Excuse
skinny as a twig.
Excuse me, have you seen my katana?
And he was that kind of guy.
That's terrifying, though. 6'5", lanky with a sword.
Let me tell you.
The
let me tell
reach
you.
on that?
I've never tried to come at a human being the way I
Okay.
came at this dude one day.
Question: which is worse, open carrying a sword or open playing an electric guitar with like
Guitar. Nobody likes that guy.
walking around to school playing an electric guitar acoustically?
Hey, listen. I think about
Hey, you know what?
telling
At
me that
least
all
it
the
wasn't
time.
hooked up to an amp and making a lot of noise.
That's
It
true.
would have been better.
It would have been because at least he would be attempting to
He's just
not
practicing.
He's doing it for looks.
2 foot cigarette in his mouth, shirt off, walking around.
Oh
Who's
my
this?
god.
Don't say his name.
I'd rather the dude with the sword impale.
Okay,
We'll
wait.
talk about it later.
We'll talk about it on our podcast.
Did we go to
We're
school?
with that.
Yes, you know who it is.
Yeah, he went to Lion with me for a bit.
Went to Lion with you.
His
happened in Lion.
initials are AS.
Very
Probably
smart
did
kid.
want to cut out any kind
Very
of personal
smart kid.
identifying stuff.
Yeah.
Oh Lord!
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, quick.
Listen to this heavy riff.
Wait, is that something this dude would say? And then
No,
I was
it's
just having
what
a
he was
conversation
doing.
with Brianna the other day about how weird it is that it's not okay to wear capes anymore. Because more than anything in my life, I
that's
want
sad.
to wear a cape. You know, and it's so
Or
ironic
cloaks.
that we're talking
Bring it back.
smack on people who carry swords openly in public because I would love nothing more.
Here's the thing.
than to carry a
You
sword.
said,
Hey,
like,
Kyle.
you give me a duster and a cowboy hat, I'm wearing that. That's sick.
Here's what you do, okay? Hey,
And then you
here's,
can conceal
here's
the
what
blade.
you do
about
Here's what would
capes,
be
Kyle.
that is acceptable.
join the Helldivers.
Don't wear a full cape. Wear like that half cape that goes over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Carry around some gloves in your hand. If somebody insults you, you slap them. Challenge them to a duel.
Another guy that me and Dustin went to
Don't
college
forget to
with
carry your.
wore he wore bracers every day. He walked
blade.
around barefoot. I don't think they were a hidden blade.
He's so
And
sad.
he had
bracers?
a bow staff that he just practiced in the quad with.
That sounds like
all the
something.
time.
thought he was
That sounds
doing
like
kung
something
fu.
somebody would do if they were bisexual. I'm gonna be honest.
That sounds like something someone's going to do when they don't have any sex at all.
I'm 100%.
I mean, he's looking on both sides.
Dude
of
was
the
in
aisle.
great shape. Dude was in great shape. I
really
think he
weird.
was pretty
Taking some
popular.
way into that.
Everyone
man.
knew
Like,
him.
That sounds so cool.
Just
I don't even know
barefoot,
him,
wearing
but I
leather
knew of him.
bracers.
I mean, why would you
kid.
not?
That's
As a
like
kid,
like
that
the
okay,
sounds-
belt
and carries a
that
bow
comes
staff.
really far
That's
down.
like somebody who like recreationally practices, like whips.
Hey, you say that. Do you ever see Jack the Whipper?
Yeah.
That dude's awesome.
But he's professional. It's not
so?
recreational.
Just like, there goes my hobby. God, dude.
Professional working at a Ren fair. Like, anyone can be that professional. But the guy's cool.
No, I've been seeing this guy. I think on Instagram lately, or maybe
Jack
YouTube
Z.
Shorts. He's this
Bisexual.
I think he's black.
Probably.
He's either black or he's Middle Eastern or something.
He wears high heels.
And
They're called lifts. They're called lifts.
Well, to be fair, back in the day,
I know,
heels
yeah, I know.
were
High heels
a
are
thing
for
that
men.
men
And these are not women's high heels. Please,
wear
ain't
dresses.
today.
Like,
Sorry.
let's get back to
This
that.
is why we don't
Well,
invite
actually-
6 people.
originally
there
they
was
were
this
created
guy
for
that
horseback riding.
I think he's black, but he's on Instagram or something.
That's what they were for
And
first.
he's like, I think he's like a professional stuntman or something.
Eastern.
He does all this crazy martial arts stuff where he'll have like a stick or sword or something.
The bear claw guy?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But he'll like, you can tell
Really
he's not short.
Okay, never mind.
He's long and ripped out of his mind, and you can tell he's done this like hundreds of times because the grass will be wore down where he's trying to do his trick, and he'll like run from off camera and come flipping.
Oh, the black guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a bow staff or something,
Yeah.
and he'll do like a quadruple flip and land, like a Power Ranger type stuff.
Yeah.
It's wild, and I'm like, if we were in some type of war, I want the guy on my team.
Yeah.
Nobody else can do that.
There's this thing. Like, this is a cool thing about college that we don't think about. Like, we think of ourselves like you think I could never wear this. I could never look like that because that's not me. Because we have an opinion of ourselves. You see someone else wearing that the first time you ever meet them, and that's just who they are. You associate them with this. That guy, he wore that. That's who he was. He walked around with a bow staff. He walked around barefoot. That's exactly who he was supposed to be. It wasn't that weird because that's exactly who he was to me.
Bow staff guy.
But you have to
Most
wonder.
definitely.
You have to go like, okay, that guy. Like, there's.
Do you have long
That's
hair?
not a normal thing to do.
No, he's very clean.
I'd expect somebody with a bow staff and leather bracers to have long
Dude
hair.
was an attractive guy. Like he should not have been
Training for the end, man.
Yeah, he's preparing for
Hey,
zombie apocalypse.
When all the ammo runs out, you're gonna have to have a guy like that.
Yup, you need bare hands, dude.
He'll probably survive a lot longer than I will.
So, listener, if you want to make a choice, just stick with that choice, and eventually eventually people will accept it.
You know, I was just thinking.
Everybody loves a niche.
One of these days.
a duster with a cowboy hat and open carry a sword. Eventually people will
Hey, listen,
accept it.
capes will probably be back in style in several years. They probably will be.
Man, we're
You could
we're
bring them
going-
in. You could usher in
Clothing
the,
has gone through a
I-
crazy
the day
I
of the
keep
cape.
seeing these
Be
ads.
the change you want to see in the world.
Is it weird to wear these cool outfits like a? If I want to wear Master Chief's
It's weird because
armor,
people.
why is that weird?
It's
you know?
weird because
Oh,
people
that's
try
weird
to-
because you assume it's weird. Just do it.
It's weird because people try to shoehorn it where it doesn't. Where it's not them. They're just doing it for a reason. Something else.
Yeah.
If that's what you want,
Yeah,
you
by
do
golly, if you want to drop $2,000 on a fursuit, you do it.
No, I'm looking to look hard. Like straight spandex,
sexual.
ripped.
It's not. Not sexual.
Just get one of those. You get one of those skin
It's not
tight
a
green
phase.
suits.
Yeah, well, not green. That's a little. That's a little bisexual. You know what I mean?
The lime green
Yeah,
spandex
yeah.
suit.
I'm looking to look cool, ripped with a cape. Superhero style.
most people will be like, "Oh, they have a D&D podcast. That's pretty bisexual."
yeah, that's true. I'll probably go with green.
Oh man.
But I was thinking,
Same
like,
with Magic the Gathering.
I think as a man, every single one of us thinks, what if the zombie apocalypse did happen today?
I mean,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on.
And every one of us are like,
I have
I'll
two
make
machetes
it.
in my car for those suckers when they come out.
Well, hey, here's another question, okay? Because this was a thing on TikTok, a while back, okay? But has anyone in this room ever thought at any point after high school? Has anyone in this room ever thought anything like extensively about like the Roman Empire in any aspect?
Oh, I'm not into that.
Oh, here we go with this.
I have,
Yeah.
but not in the
Not extensively.
Not for that reason.
What do you mean, though?
No, what do you mean for what reason?
That trend.
I've seen the video.
No, I'm not saying for the trend. I'm not saying for the
No,
trend.
the thing is that all men think about it. That's why it became a trend.
Right.
What trend are y'all talking about?
I have no clue.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey though. Nobody
I
actually
literally
thinks about it
Never
a
think
lot.
about the Roman
No,
Empire.
not
Now, when you start hearing about it, you do start thinking about it.
Yes.
The road thing is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Gladiator, you got to think about the aspects of the culture. When you think about if you think about Western civilization as a whole, well, it goes from, of course, America is now enveloped in the Western civilization. From England to the Romans to the Greeks, like that type of stuff. So of course,
You indirectly probably think about it more than you realize,
Yeah.
but
You don't realize you're thinking about
you're not sitting there going, "Man,
no,
Julius Caesar."
no, and that's not what I'm saying. And that's not what I'm saying either. But I'm saying,
Julius Caesar was
Have you ever
bisexual.
wondered why our
Just
roads are as wide as they are?
I mean, yeah. Hey, listen, this
and
is
it's because of the Roman.
It's because
Empire.
of the Roman Empire.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
You're just talking about culture in general.
no,
Most
not just culture, just
Pretty
like
much.
Yeah.
It all goes back to the Romans.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the Greeks. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All roads lead
I
to
thought
Rome.
about that many
No,
Well,
times.
that's
a
because-
that is
nope.
a cool worm
Yeah.
rabbit hole to travel
yeah.
down.
I never
Absolutely.
thought about it like that.
Hey,
All
speaking-
roads lead to Rome, but
well, like
metaphorically,
the
not
reason that is because the
literally.
people that came to America were from that side of the earth
Yeah,
where
yeah.
that stuff. So they took influence from that, and that's why we have this. I mean, that just
and that's
makes
also
sense.
why the culture of America is. It seems like the culture of America. I know some people would take issue with me saying that, but like that's why there's so many different cultures that are clashing right now. Because when America was founded, it was founded as a Western civilization.
because
But
Western people found.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Right. When
But
you-
it was established as a place to immigrate to.
Melting
You
pot.
know, multicultural. So you've got these different cultures.
Legally.
You've got these different cultures that are coming. I mean,
Not a
you've
great
got
world.
African cultures that are coming up in prominence. You've got Eastern cultures. You've got Near Eastern cultures coming into America, and we were always taught early on in our schooling that America was a melting pot, and it's been more accurately described in recent decades. It's not a melting pot. It's more like a salad, where everything it's its own piece, and you can pick
Yeah.
it out if you want.
Yeah,
But it's a blended salad.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I think.
yeah. That's just more of a progressive way of saying melting pot. I think.
No, because melting
the
pot.
idea of melting pot is you can't separate.
everything comes together. You can't separate.
You can't
But
separate.
that makes more
melting.
sense because even in just the states aspect.
Now, here's probably we were supposed to be a melting pot. We're supposed to integrate and accept everything, and
we don't.
And we don't.
Well, I don't think that's proper though. Like, I don't want there to not be other cultures and just be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, well
Agreed.
we're just like, you know what I mean?
Well, the idea is like if
That's the salad.
Like I don't want it
That's-
to.
yeah.
yeah, I know. I think the salad's better though. Like I think we're saying like the melting pot is like what it's supposed to be, and what it isn't what it's supposed to be. When really it's like I want to be able to go and go to where there's Hispanic people and be like, yeah, I can get a sample of their culture here.
So
I don't want to
he
not be
likes
able.
segregation.
Yeah, that's
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like,
It's a joke. It's a joke.
that's more like everybody being themselves rather than me going, oh yeah, I'm just as much Hispanic as Pablo over there
Yeah.
because we're all in America. That's not true.
I actually have a really hot take on
you're
this.
not Hispanic. You're American.
Yeah.
See,
That's-
we're
that's
not
the
trying
principle.
to be American.
This is my-
We're,
yeah.
we're African American. We're Hispanic American. We
You're-
don't.
you
melt.
are American.
Yeah,
you
you're
are not
American.
African American. You are
Yes.
a black American. You are not Mexican
Speak
American.
on it.
You are a American.
but all I'm saying though is like I
salad
don't
keeps us
want there
segregated.
to not be able to be a distinction between two people
Exactly.
that live in America that are
But-
from different places. Where it's like I'm not saying our culture should be all completely separate. What I'm saying is I don't like it's. If you say it's a melting pot, it's like, yeah, all this belongs to everybody. There's no distinction between anybody. That's
Yeah.
not right either. That's
But
not segregation.
But the way that it is right now, every culture is trying to take credit for what they have contributed to the multiculturalism of America. Like, oh well, like for instance, anything that was brought over from the slaves, from the North Atlantic slave trade. Like, well, we're responsible for okra, we're responsible for soul food, blues, jazz, any kind of dancing. They want to say country music, things like this. They're wanting to say all this is based on, at its roots, some form of bringing African culture to
Well,
meet
I don't
this
have
Western
a
culture.
problem with that.
it's
not
two parts to a
entirely
whole, though.
incorrect.
That's the
Not,
thing.
it's not entirely
The
incorrect.
greatest
You're
part
right.
about America is that you bring the culture. It is it has to be a melting pot for it to work. Because if it's a salad, it doesn't work. Because that's the problem. That Mexican people think that if they're born in America, but their parents are born in Mexico, they're Mexican American. So their culture and heritage is a Mexican culture, and it's not. It has to be a melting pot.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but if Pablo comes from Mexico, then bring your Mexican culture to
Pablo
America.
Rathar, the god of ambition.
Yes, bring your Mexican culture to America because that is what America is.
It will improve. It will
But
improve America.
got
They're
you.
missing the point of it is America because we have all these cultures. So America as one culture can be many cultures.
It's all like it's cultures
it's
like
like the-
influencing other cultures.
Well,
Yes.
it's like the Persian Empire. The Persian Empire was set up in that same way.
If it's a melting pot, though, you can't You can't pull things out. You can't.
A true
And you're
melting
not
pot.
supposed
true
to.
melting
You
pot.
should.
When it's a salad, you're like, oh, we don't like the croutons of Mexico. We can just
That's
get
the
rid
problem.
of that.
Yeah.
We don't accept that in our
Yeah.
salad.
Or I'm not saying take it out and get rid of it.
No, but you're saying you can separate and delineate. Like you can say like yeah. We're Mexicans and we'll give America the tacos and we'll give them the nice culinary stuff and we'll give them our values, some of our values, but we're gonna keep mariachi to ourselves, or we're gonna keep
They can keep mariachi.
or we're gonna keep our strong family bonds to ourselves.
Or
We're
at
not-
the end of the day, they say, those were our tacos. We gave you those tacos. And that's
Yeah.
not how it works because it is American Mexican food now. You have Mexican food. I've been to Mexico. I've had Mexican food. And I've had American Mexican food.
Americans
Yeah.
better.
It f***ing is. It is. It is, dude. Sorry, guys. I got really heated for a second there. I'm American through my
No,
core.
that's
the
actually
thing.
a great
That's the thing
argument,
when you come to
though.
this crossroads, and that's what America's supposed to be, is this crossroads. Of
What does that
cultures.
have to do with Rome?
I don't know.
Everything.
Bring up
It
a
just
fun
came up
fact
to
about
this.
Rome.
Rome's
ahead,
the
Todd.
same thing, dude.
But-
Rome's a good second to us. A good second.
But
What's your fun fact?
Okay, you guys know why Roman concrete has lasted for so long from their structures and stuff?
Why?
Roman concrete?
Rebar?
Yes. No, not rebar. But I'll listen to you. I'll let you.
Good guess.
So their concrete, whenever they would make it, they would put lime inside the concrete, mixing it together. So yeah, big chunks of lime. So whenever, like, say it gets like a crack or something like that, it basically self heals.
Yeah, the rain will come in and the lime will calcify and close the crack.
Why don't we have that technology?
We use lime.
That's like
but we
run
use
flat
quicklime.
tires.
We use quicklime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why Roman roads, they were built in like 400 BC and they're still over there.
It's harder
That's
to
cool.
build those roads
But
compared to our asphalt, though.
Did you see the process that they went through to make their roads? First, they plow up the ground like 3 foot down. They lay down stones,
Right.
and then they put gravel over that, and then they I can't remember what else. It's like other paver stones, and then they Roman concrete over that.
Well, I'll be thinking about the Roman Empire now.
Yeah,
It is actually very interesting.
I actually wanted, as silly as it sounds, I wanted to do my driveway that way, but it's just impossible.
It cost you more than your house.
Exactly.
Right, yes. Yeah, it's so expensive.
If I did it by hand,
And they
maybe
do
not,
hundreds
but-
of miles.
I totally understand. I just
dude.
recently found out how asphalt was made. Do you guys know? It's leftover oil.
Well, and rocks.
Yeah, and gravel.
Gravel.
Leftover oil and gravel.
Yeah.
Which is crazy cheap because, what are you going to do? Throw the oil away? Pfft, no, this is America.
Have you ever thought about something I do think about that's not the Roman Empire? Do you ever think about how much there is of stuff? Think about
Do you guys ever what have you been smoking? Because hey, have you guys ever noticed
like-
the quantities in which things are?
well, just
see
think
how many
about
blades of
think
grass
about
there are?
like the roads is one thing. Is like okay, what the entire Earth is made of rock, so obviously we could make roads. Like that's
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
that's not that mind blowing. But like high line wires and power poles. Think about all the cable that's run over the entire Earth.
yeah.
Probably enough to circumnavigate it hundreds of
You
times.
work in a-
Where did it come from?
in a factory of a sort, right? The stuff that you make, the amount of quantities, just the stupidest things, come
Yeah.
out of your factory. Mine too. I make 1 million pieces of this stupid little part this
Yeah.
big.
How do we need that many? How is there still a demand?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they go to buses.
How did we ever make roads that cross this entire country?
Yeah.
When I see like years of road work on a 2 mile stretch, the interstate, it's like, how the heck did they ever get this done?
The interstate system before it was put in, it would take you 2 weeks to cross the United States.
What?
I'm surprised it's not longer than that.
Wow.
It would take roughly 2 weeks.
What is it now?
That's not that long.
3 days.
Wow, that's cool.
But 2 weeks really isn't that long when you think about there being bad roads and bad cars. How is it not longer than 2 weeks?
Well, this is also back in like the 20s.
Train? Was that by train?
No, that was by car.
But
by
without
an
the
early car?
interstate, just going on all sorts
Yeah,
of back roads.
like Route 66.
Yeah.
The gateway to the West, if you will.
Yeah. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Yeah.
That's funny.
These are just 2-lane highways. Before the interstate system, there you just find highways to go all the way across the country.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be a straight shot. It'd be
Yeah.
wherever they had a road
It's just
made.
crazy fast.
That seems fast for cars that
Yeah.
probably max out about 45 miles an hour
Yeah.
on gravel roads, more than likely. Boy, that'd be
Cars or
rough
is that
on
trains?
you.
That was cars.
That would be rough on your body, dude. Can you imagine that?
Let me
Yes,
see.
I've been
Because
in
I
bouncing in a
read
car.
that once. I read that
yeah.
once, and that information could be outdated. So
Well, Seth, though, I bet you're not on a tractor that with metal wheels and a metal seat.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen those old tractors?
Oh, I've been on those tractors. We have those tractors.
Golly, I look at that and it looks like
I'm
a
on a
torture
rough
chamber.
tractor.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not sitting in the AC, are you?
I'm in the AC.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm in the AC.
Well, then you got it pretty
Oh,
nice.
you
I
got
ain't
it rough,
complaining about
don't you?
that.
Oh,
I ain't
what a
complaining about
rough
that.
tractor.
But the tractor that I'm on though, like I don't know if the shocks are bad or whatever, but like when you're and it's fairly flat ground. I mean, your head is like banging
Yeah.
into the two windows.
Well,
on
and
the
when you're
ceiling
driving on a
and-
surface like that, it's rough on your body. No matter, it wouldn't matter how nice of a tractor you have.
it seems like 56 was when it was enacted. So I was wrong in that.
For what?
Interstate system.
Oh, really?
Commoners fact check.
All right, let's shut this thing down and move the table
Yeah,
in
let's
here.
get going, man.
I just want to make it known to all of our followers that Tyrell's still got a thick.
He's already got
Badonkadonk. I'm just saying.
All right, y'all check out the Discord. Follow us on all the crap. Find us
Yeah.
on Twitch.
Yeah, check out our Discord, dude. I'll see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll see that stuff.
Playing Wordle with us.
Talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.